ping my own server. Thing on YouTube. My channel. I'm happy to be doing Heart Tree again for sure. I like it. I like it a lot.
I reread Plants, by the way,
Yeah?
and I ground my way through like what was it, like 350,000 words. I'm so upset I did it because I still don't like it.
You still don't like it? Aww.
Yeah.
I appreciate you
It's
doing it.
just,
I haven't even read the whole thing myself.
it's just like essentially it's like they've given Harry like a new character, which works pretty well.
Yeah,
And then just like
Harry's always an OC.
The knock on wave of this is just like serendipitously fixes everything in like random humorous ways, and it just got old very fast.
I mean, you got to where things go the fuck wrong, right? Like, 'cause you read like the whole thing,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, yeah, like they go wrong for a bit, but
I think it's
how far have you got?
I think it's delightfully written. I'm in
It is delightfully written, but it's definitely not for me.
I'm in like
Like
chapter eight
I can see
ish
what you think.
of the last one, I think.
Which one's the last one?
Well, I
It's
mean,
not Geranium, is it?
there's a tiny epilogue, but like the longest of the fix.
Okay, so that is Geranium, then yeah. So I didn't read the tiny epilogue, but
Yeah,
I'm all the way through Geranium.
yeah. The like I like the way it approaches the serious, like, you know, like the darker issues and stuff, like, because you go into you go into it at first, you're like, oh, it's just this is a fluff piece, whatever, and then it's like, oh, no, they're not saying life doesn't suck, and it isn't, it never fully gets into what I would call indulgent hurt comfort. It's just like, oh, something horrible happened to this person, and it has these realistic consequences, and there are good people around them that are helping them through it, but it still hurts, kind of thing. Like, I feel like like the author has to have gone through some shit themselves. I feel like I feel like if
I get the distinct impression that the Harry OC they have put into this fic is probably very similar to themselves at some point in their life.
I remember they said in one of the author's notes, which I think is great, that the whole fic came about because they wanted to write socialist Draco. Like, they wanted to write socialist revolutionary Draco.
That I
like
mean that bit like this is the thing though, like some of it is quite entertaining, but
like that part is
I
fun,
don't
you
know,
know.
like there's nothing like ever like this that clever or that interesting. So like I read it for entertainment for a bit and then I get bored. I could probably read it in like chunks of about like 30k words in between other stuff. If it
Yeah.
was like one long read, yeah, it just like switches me
Yeah,
off. But
like
I just get bored and start thinking
it,
about
it
other stuff.
it doesn't have much to really say. I don't know if I would say, but I think that one of the things about it. Oh, right, I actually picked my server. Um one of the things about it that I do respect a lot is that what it's doing, one of the main things it's going for, and I talked to the author about this a little bit actually, and they say it in other stuff. It's a theme in the story too. Is
Hello.
what happens in
Hey, Jada.
adventures when the adventures aren't happening. You know, like, you know, I like that scene where they're talking about, like, you know, sometimes having an adventure is like someone standing around in their socks and underwear asking where the linens are, you know, kind of thing. I like that it's
What
going
is
for stuff like that.
what is the context for this conversation?
Matt read all of Plants and didn't super like it.
You fucking heathen,
Shocking.
Matt. You
Shocking,
absolute
absolutely
heathen.
nobody.
You fucking heathen.
Here's
I
the
don't
thing,
like
though.
you.
Here's the thing, Matt. Though,
I'm just judging you so hard.
do you agree, though?
When aren't you?
Do you
Alex,
agree,
when aren't you?
Matt, that we
Never?
we gotta get Racket to read this fucking thing?
Rocky's not coming back, so you might struggle.
Well, okay, yeah, but I mean, yeah, the
It would be entertaining.
It would, yeah.
Tough prospect.
Uh-huh. Okay, let's do this last fucking Zerg mission.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know,
I say
like,
like
it's
I'm not.
entertaining.
I
It's
am.
not for me.
Yeah.
Like, if I can read,
I can respect that.
I go reread Seventh Horcrux because I genuinely love Seventh
Oh yeah,
Horcrux. I love it.
Seventh Horcrux is fucking perfect. Like it's like it really. I would.
Yeah.
Of all of the fan fictions I have ever read, Seventh Horcrux is the one that I would call
It is
closest to perfect.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And every now and again, I get tempted to write some kind of satire, but Emerald Ashes has such a similar sense of humor to me, and
Mhm.
Seventh Horcrux is so well done. I just feel like there's no point. Like I might as well go reread Seventh Horcrux instead.
It's happened already. Yeah, I could get the same experience from from not from writing, but from just reading this. Yeah, God, it's so
It takes
fucking.
me so much less effort and time.
Yeah. I'm really happy that was the last long, that was the last fic like project that I did for free that was of any kind of length, and I think that was very fitting because like that needed to fucking happen. I needed to do that fucking. Yeah, it
so
really
good.
does. Yes.
As the token American in this chat, I will read out once I'm done with it my list of shit that I'm sending Muffin to read, and will ask you whether there is anything obvious that I've missed. Okay, is that fine by you?
That you may do this, yes.
Was that Sakiko claiming to be the token American or volunteering Sam as the token American?
That's fine.
volunteering Sam.
Turnabout is fair play. Turnabout is fair play.
Literally look at the chat. From top to bottom, we have a Swede, a Dutch person, a British person, another British person.
You ever take a step back? Hang on, no, shut up.
I don't know what
I'm
to tell
not
you.
fucking British.
You are.
Fucking British.
Ah, no.
Sakiko,
You ever?
fucking
Hang on.
Prime Minister.
Hang on. You guys ever take a step back and like remember anew that it's so cool that it's like we're in this like Jedi Council like hologram chamber of like all these fucking countries? It's rad.
I'm not British.
Yeah.
Also-
Prime Minister of the UK is fucking Liz Truss. She wants to fucking rip apart Scotland's independence and all this bullshit.
Sakiko, it is.
I'm not saying that it's a good thing, Ali.
Sakiko, Ali is not British. Ali is not are you joking or are you trying to press a point? Because Ali is not British.
I'm mostly joking.
Okay, because
I may have a British passport, but I'm not British anymore. The UK is too much of a shit show for me to actually give a shit about it all day.
You know what? Slightly related to this, but was something that our linguistic lecturer told us. I don't know why it should be Scotland vying for independence, because Scotland annexed England.
Did it though?
Yeah.
Yes, it did. King James VI was the king of Scotland, and then he took control of.
Run to London and never look back. It's literally referred to in Scotland as being ruled by the pen. I'm sure we were talking about this earlier. Maybe it was in Hackney.
It's a shit show because like technically the first king of the UK was originally king of Scotland.
Yeah.
But
The second one already put
England
it.
has the money.
Yeah.
We do have
The second one already put it as James the Second and Seventh
Yeah.
instead of James the Sixth
James
and
the Sixth
Third.
thing is, what's bullshit is like you'll have like someone will talk about James the Second, and I have to think for like 5 minutes to go, oh, you mean James the Seventh? Because he's taught in our schools as James the Seventh and Second.
Because he had so many Jameses that died at age like 10. Like there was like 6 in a row that just died in their like early teens.
I mean, they were alive long enough to become a king. They just didn't stay.
If each of them dies at age 10, that doesn't mean they are
I mean,
alive
it's not
that
all that
long.
young. But there were a lot that died quite young in a row. Although, to be fair, it's still better than that Alexander who rode his cliff of a horse trying to get to his mistress in the middle of the night. Like, what a way to go.
Yeah.
That is indeed a way to go.
It's the UK.
I know.
Hi, I have been trying to tell you I'm here for a while now, but you never stop talking.
Yeah.
Imagine accusing me of all the people in this chat. And also...
However, Sakiko also fucked up and called me British, so you know.
This must be answered. This must be answered.
love my dad. I love my dad's family, but like, I want to move out of England as soon as possible.
I think it's not going to get better though.
Weird.
Like
Oh,
it's not.
yeah.
It's just like not better
But
in
at
any way,
least
shape, or form. Like
Edinburgh's
Scottish
nicer
independence
to
would
look
be
at.
Brexit part two.
Yeah, Matt.
Like
Scotland's
Brexiting
nicer
from
to look
Brexit.
at. Edinburgh is very nice. If I can get myself into Princess Street Gardens, I can have a breakdown somewhere pretty. I can't do that where I currently live.
No, but you know,
That's
like you
fair.
can still move to Edinburgh if it's part of the UK.
And yet there still won't be enough to save you.
Yeah,
How many bodies will you hide behind?
looking at you, Scottish politics, it feels like they're gonna try and crash out of the union with or without permission. So
Oh, they probably will, but like I think actually like the one good thing Liz Truss will do is stop that happening. Like all she's going to do is move it up so there has to be like a clear majority. At which point like it's democratic, and even if it's a bad idea, I guess fair enough. But this stops like the minority fucking everyone over like Brexit did. So I think it's actually probably a good thing. Not that that's why Liz Truss is doing it, of course.
yeah.
But you
So
know,
the thing is, Scottish independence was like one of the major reasons a shit ton of people said, yeah, nah, let's stay in the UK is the EU, and we were told like, yeah, rejoining the EU will be such a hassle, and like there's
well,
no
actually, there's good news on that
this
front.
bullshit.
Because now Liz Truss is Prime Minister, and Boris and Lord Frost, that absolute muppet, is gone. The EU have basically extended.
Oh, is he actually gone?
Yeah,
Oh
Boris
yeah,
is
he
gone.
stepped down. That's why I've been
with
complaining
him-
about Liz
with him
Truss
has
for the
gone the
past 5
people-
minutes.
Well, I mean, you
Like,
know,
with
you
him
could be
has gone the
just
people
because
who
you're
just
complaining
don't
about
wanna
somebody
do it.
in England doesn't mean that they're the prime minister. You know, like
Hey, our Prime Minister is Liz Truss.
No, but it's good on.
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
I thought
Ali
you
said
knew-
specifically about the Prime Minister, you know?
But yeah, no,
Yeah.
Ali, the EU is extending an olive branch, which basically means not entirely rejoining the single market, but as like
Can we
kind
join
of,
like the Schengen zone or whatever? Like the
it's
other
like it's going to be like a
countries
little mini European NATO, basically,
have?
but
Oh
like
god, that'll
not
be
in the single
great.
market and stuff like that.
Oh,
It's no, it's a
that'll be
good thing
great.
because it gives us a way back in after Brexit.
That'll unfuck the Irish Sea border.
Yeah, exactly. It basically undoes some of the absolute stupidity.
I
we
was
managed
trying
to
to explain the Irish Sea border the other day, and someone was like, "Well, why do you need borders?" Like, well, one part of the island is in the EU, and the other part isn't. But we're not allowed a hard border on the island, so therefore the borders be moved to the fucking sea.
it really is a lot of UK politics just boils down to we're cops, and we make sense. It really is just
It's
that.
not, though. It's like, were you Catholic or Protestant, and how many times have you killed each other in the last 1,000 years? Oh, it was lots, was it? Great. We'll just
Yeah.
continue hating each other then.
Yeah, so peace walls are still a thing in Belfast, which is walls around communities, because they were on. Let's separate these neighbourhoods by walls so they stop trying to stab each other in the street.
No.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not been great. Basically, since the Romans left, no one's been stopping us killing each other. And to be fair, the Irish started it, because the Vikings and various other Irish states thought it would be fun to come and raid the UK. And then the Normans kind of conquered Ireland on the back of that, and it hasn't really stopped since then.
I didn't think you would come back.
It'll continue.
The Angles
Things
got
unfold
fucked
like
over by
that.
the Saxons, so therefore the Anglo-Saxons fucked over the Celts, and then the Celts went fuck you and tried to fuck over the Anglo-Saxons, and it's been back and forth ever since.
Yeah, literally, it just
And
never
then
ends.
and then Protestantism came along, and we went, ooh, another way to divide each other. You are the
Yeah.
wrong church. Die.
I'll take 3 helpings of that, thank you very much.
We can kill each other and for more reasons now.
Like
It
my
is pretty impressive that this country actually has managed to survive for as long as it has.
yeah, so my mum's grandfather was a minister in the Church of Scotland. In fact, I visited the church he used to preach at. Today, which is quite nice.
Huh.
But he was a minister in the Highlands and Church of Scotland. I've said this before, but my grandmother is Catholic. My mum's mum is Catholic, so yeah.
Oh, inter-church marriage.
Yeah, so my grandma never got her quite wedding. They got married in like the registry office or whatever, just signed the paperwork and left.
Oh,
And my great grandparents refused to talk to my grandparents until after my eldest uncle was born, because you gross. It's a Catholic with my child. You gross. It's a Protestant with my child. There was no, he's a nice boy, but, or she's a nice girl, but it was straight up.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I dislike Christianity for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just
For whatever
caused
fucking
so
weird
much
ass reason, yeah.
trouble.
It's,
Like so much, like since its conception, it has just like caused trouble constantly. Like it has its good points,
Yeah.
like don't get me wrong, but it's great
I
sometimes.
would say that Christianity isn't the issue. Organized
it
religion,
is.
in churches, that
Well,
is.
Christianity is like a
It's
sterling example
monotheism.
of the problem with organized religion.
It's monotheism a bit as well, because things that
Mhm.
have like pantheons have like much more like diversity and variation and much more understanding of like people being a little bit different. Whereas monotheism,
I
once
still
you get
think
into
if
the hardline stuff,
every Christian person, if every person of Christian denomination just practiced their religion at home for themselves instead of like
The Kiko
making-
but
part,
that's the trouble with
Christianity.
Christianity.
That would never
Christianity
happen, though.
literally came as like
yeah,
a
but
social movement.
that's why I say that like
It's
maybe
so thing is
the
with Christianity, part of the Bible says those who worship privately at home are not proper Christians. Another part of the Bible says those who worship loudly in public are not proper Christians.
You're kind of damned either way. I'm fully intended.
Yeah. That's kind of a big deal, even in.
Yeah, so
Be Christian.
depending on which parts of the Bible you follow, you could be fucking yourself over. Because
Like, if
of
you
the way
made a
you
list,
worship.
if you made a list of the religions that like started the most shit in the last 4,000 years, like Christianity, Islam, and then probably one of Zoroastrianism and Judaism, it's all the monotheistic religions because they're just like genuinely less tolerant because like they have their concept of like this is the ultimate right, and then some of them get quite offended by things that aren't exactly that and go after it.
Yeah, there's something happening, and it has been happening for a while, with Hindu nationalism over in India. But like everything I can find is like, oh, look at this weird thing. I'm like, okay, it's weird, but like, can I get an actual decent analytical breakdown of what's happening and why, how's it started and all this fun stuff? And they go, ooh, look at these weird Indians. And I'm like, can you not source?
To be fair, a lot of Hindu nationalism is as a result of the Mughal like hangover because they try to suppress. The
Let's
shit out of
bring
Hinduism.
Final Fantasy into this.
Such an American. Oh yeah, Sam.
Yeah.
Let's just completely change the conversation. During the was it? Yeah, during Matt's recording session, I had a ping of 5 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you survive?
I was just entertained by Robot Sam.
Ali didn't. She's actually replying to the recording now.
Yeah.
My recording. This is just like delayed feedback.
It's quite amusing. Because it was like, it'd be fine for a bit, and then it just went to shit. And then it'd be fine for a bit, and then it just went to shit. And it was just great.
I think the worst I've got here, and I'm like my area is not great. I think it's about like 1.8. I think that's the worst I've seen it here. Which is
Yeah,
like usable.
I tried to use it straight up using the lodge's Wi-Fi, but it was shit. So I'm using a hotspot from my phone, which we all know is the best way to get signal. So, I said, I'm on a peninsula on a loch between two between two parts of a mountain range.
Not ideal. I am trying to imagine how many miles of like copper cable there must be between like your green box and like whatever the hell is at the other end.
Yeah.
It's gotta be like 50 or something.
It's so bad that the lodge straight up comes with a bit of sheet of paper that says, due to the mountains and stuff, no guarantee that you'll actually get TV signal, but we've got Netflix and a Fire TV stick. Enjoy.
I mean,
Pretty solid background.
there's
only so much you can do.
Cabin, that's great, actually. In the Swedish mountains, it's here. Have some Monopoly games.
Oh yeah, I was straight up expecting no Wi-Fi, shitty data, board game central. So like, actually being able to watch streams is insane.
Yeah.
Ali, you'll love this. I'm just skimming through Have I Got News for You's Twitter feed. I got this gem of a quote. Emotional last day for Priti Patel as staff have a whip round to let her run over a kitten with a steamroller.
my god, I need to start watching Have I Got News for You and all the other news shows.
It's like, I mean, I think it was better a few years ago,
Oh yeah, definitely, but
but like
it's right
it's
then a
still
lot
good
of
for me.
American humor. So it's everyone. I'd watch the show and everyone's like online, be like, "Yeah, it's amazing." And I watch it and I go, "Oh, it's very American. Let's find something
Yeah,
else."
5 or 6 years ago, it was really dry and like very like British.
Yeah,
It was excellent.
yeah. It's when it's like it's very British. It's very dry. They say it with a straight face, and you just everyone around them is losing it, but they're not losing it because they're British, and it's just glorious. And then when they actually start losing it, it's just ugh. Yeah. I think Back to the Week is over now, which is a shame.
Yeah.
But also, it was going to outstay its welcome if it hadn't already.
It was dying a death. To be fair, like it was
Yeah.
like it was definitely going to go. You could just tell, like as the seasons rolled on, it was going to go.
Mhm.
Did you see I can't remember his name now. Was it Joe Lycett on BBC a couple days back?
No. What do you do?
That's worth watching. They put him on. Someone, I don't know who did this, but they deserve a massive round of applause. Got him on there in the morning with Laura Kalsenberg. And like and just like the right wing, and like he just took the piss for like half an hour, like just serious enough that they couldn't really call him on it, but like everyone knew what he was doing. It was priceless, like absolutely priceless. The best thing I've seen on the BBC like in a while.
He's so polite when he's taking the piss as well. It just works.
He's so nice. He's so nice about it.
Yeah.
Like,
There is in many ways an ultimate sort of British humor there. It's like the best British humor is like where they where it's just very dry or very just almost disingenuous, like it's great.
Terry Pratchett is like the ultimate British humor.
Terry Pratchett.
It's humor with plausible deniability,
You'd be cutting me on throat, disembowel myself honorably. And a couple. I think there's a handful of others as well. Yeah. And what I love about Discworld is he'd say something really deep, like Sam Vimes' theory of economics or whatever. Then a couple of paragraphs later, absolute bullshit. A couple of paragraphs later, absolute bullshit is happening because it's Discworld, and yeah, you've had some deep, serious moments, but it's Discworld, so shit's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So well done.
That's why it's so good though. Like it's just like his understanding of people and like life in general. It just makes it so fantastic. Douglas Adams is the other I really for that.
Yeah. It's
fuck! You all are reminding me that I still need to upload my my reading of Hogfather.
Oh yes, please. I fucking love Hogfather.
Really? Not my favorite one.
It's
like it's good.
So it's a Christmas classic for me. It's come Christmas time, it'll stick on the film live adaptation they did.
Oh, the live adaptation's quite funny. To be fair,
yeah,
it's not amazing, but it is quite amusing.
No, but it's well done. It's not the best it could be, but it's still really good. So I quite like it.
He doesn't really translate well to on screen. Like even if you get a really good like narrator for the TV series, it just doesn't quite work the same way.
Yeah, because a lot of the fun is also just in the descriptions, and
it's
even with
so
the narrator, you can't quite get that.
Yeah. It's so I love Terry Pratchett so much that when I moved out, I took my parents' copy of Monstrous Regiment with me because I was not really admitting that I had gender issues, and Monstrous Regiment is such a vibe. But yeah, no. And I finally, this week, returned my parents' copy because I bought myself my own one.
I think I've got mine to hypervector.
Good night.
I'm missing one.
I'll see you all tomorrow.
Good night.
Yeah. I lost one of my favourites ages ago. I took it on holiday. I can't remember the title of it. It's the one with the heraldry designer who's keeps assassinating people. It has so many terrible heraldry puns in it. Like it genuinely cracks me up. I love it so much.
Can't think of it. Yeah, it's I love.
It's a Vimes one.
Yeah, it's so good. I am. My first introduction to Terry Pratchett was Tiffany Aiken when I was quite young. So like, I think that'll always be my fave because it was my first Terry Pratchett.
Good Omens.
Which one mine was Mort.
Yeah.
I used to love Mort. The Mort one's so good. But then like as you get older, I think you like trend more towards Vimes because it's a bit like cleverer.
Yeah. So in order of what I've read, Tiffany, and then through Tiffany I got introduced to the witches, and then through the I can't remember and then through the witches I got
Colour of Magic.
Yeah, Colour of Magic. Through Colour of Magic I got into the wizards, and through the wizards I got into Vimes, and it's all just I love that they're all they're all interlinked in various ways, and you can just But my favourite character is probably either Veterinary or Lady Sybil.
I think
Veterinary
Veterinary is my favorite.
Veterinary is so good.
He's so good. He's.
What is that quote about him where it's like, I think he's unfair and unjust, but he's equally unfair and unjust to everyone.
Yeah, he doesn't like
Love
anybody.
it.
Everybody will get the exact same treatment. No one will like it, but they can't really complain about favoritism because everybody gets treated the same.
Retribution.
Taking a lot of reread Terry Pratchett though. Okay.
Make time. Tell those kids of yours to shut up, and then you can at school, and you can just sit there in class and read.
If only they will shut up, but what they'll actually do is play on their phones under the desk because they think they're really clever.
Oh,
They're like, and they're annoying selective school kids. They think they're like the next best thing ever, and they haven't realised that clever kids grow up to be clever people and remember all the stuff they did when they were clever kids.
It's
like
just
I've seen
you're
all
so
these tricks.
smart, and then the teacher's just like,
You're
Phone's
just
under the
smart enough to be
table.
really fucking stupid.
Like, your phone's under the table. There would be some teachers who'd be like, yeah, so if you have long hair and like you have your sleeves and you're just leaning on your hand, I can't exactly tell whether or not you've got earphones in. So if you want to study, you can do that. Then
I don't mind music study. Like I'll happily let them do that as long as they're actually working. I don't really care.
Yeah, at school had strict no mobile phone policy though.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, to be fair, I'll only let like sixth form and maybe year 11 listen to music because
so that was in
I got called out for listening to music. They did
that with me like once or twice, and then they realized that I actually still could answer pretty much any question they had on the topic, and then they just stopped.
Yeah, I used to read my book under the desk, and the teacher would be like, "You're obviously not paying attention, so have this test." And I would just do the test and get full marks, and the teacher kind of like see it at the front, and it was like, "Yeah, like just leave me to read my book. I'm happy here. I'm not getting in your way."
Yeah, no.
Like there were a few subjects where I couldn't have done that, but also those were the subjects where I didn't read books or listen to music. If I'm in your class and I'm reading a book that is not for your class, or I'm listening to music or whatever, then that means I don't need to pay attention to your class, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah. For at a certain point we were
get
like
away with that in my school.
just
If I got in
studying.
so much trouble that it wouldn't be worth it. Like,
yeah, if
I nearly got a detention once because I had my phone out, and then I was like, but sixth form are allowed to have their phone out. We're only meant to do it in this common area. But if you're not in class and you sincerely apologise and there's no lower years around, you'll get away with it. So I did, and it was fine, but it was like, you really should go back and was like, I know, I'm sorry, one of my friends said they'd meet me for a club and they haven't turned up yet, so I'm slightly concerned, and they're like,
that's why you don't have rules like that. It's just asking for trouble. Like you don't gain anything from having that rule. Like all you do is then have to punish people for like minor infractions of unimportant.
So I ended up in detention because a friend texted me. A friend from another school texted me, and I checked my phone in class. And yeah, I shouldn't have. Still did it and got a detention.
Yeah, I just like it's just not worth it. Like if someone's phone goes off in my class, like unless they've really annoyed me, I'll be like answer it. And send them.
Yeah,
make them answer
I'd rather a student be like one student be distracted for like 15 seconds while reading a message that they got instead of addressing it in the class, starting a discussion, distracting the entire
exactly.
class for the next 10 minutes, that's just not worth it unless they're actively disrupting the rest of the class.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just drift around and have like a quiet word and be like, "The fuck you think you're doing?" Although perhaps not in quite such explicit language.
I mean, that depends on what year you're teaching. I regularly teach like
You'd still get in
ninth,
trouble for it.
10th grade. If they're fine with that kind of language, probably shouldn't do it in elementary school.
Even if you do it in sixth form, like it'll be funny once or twice, but eventually there's someone who like gets offended, and then like you're fucked.
Sixth form means nothing to me. Can you use normal English, funny word person?
That is normal English, German person who doesn't understand. It's 17 and 18-year-olds.
Okay, I was gonna say, if you say sixth form, I'm just gonna assume unless you specify.
In Scotland, it's the last year of high school. In England, it's whatever the fuck Matt just said.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, if you say sixth form and don't clarify what the fuck that is, I'm gonna assume you mean 6th year of school, which is 11 to 12 years old. I don't fucking care if that is inaccurate.
I don't know how England does it, but Scotland is nursery, and then you've got primary 1 to 7, and then I can't remember whether it's secondary
Sure,
or
it's 1
senior.
to 7. Is it not 1 to 6?
1 to 7, and then S1 to 6. And then four years for a
Why?
bachelor's.
Okay,
with
genuine
honors, 5
question.
years for a master's.
Genuine question. Why do both England and Scotland, and I think also the US, start counting 1 in the middle of school years? In Germany, you have
Because you move
elementary
schools, Sakiko. I move school. I go from the primary school to the secondary school. Of course,
Yeah, you do that in
same
Germany
here.
as well, but in Germany it works like you go to primary school from year 1 to either year 4 or year 5, depending
That's
on
'cause
what federal state you're in.
Germany's education
And
system got like
and then you go
rebuilt.
to secondary school from year 5 or year 6.
I don't think the year system has changed in centuries.
You don't start over in year 1 because you already did the first 4 or 5 years in elementary school,
Sakiko, it's the new year,
Germany's
the new
education system was built
school.
in one go, whereas in the
Yeah, but
UK
it's
we
still
have like
the same
different
person,
schools and private. It was
Person
much,
has already
much
gone
more
to
complicated.
4th grade. Why would you go from 4th grade to 1st grade?
Zukiko, I
You
can
don't.
tell you that this is something that does not particularly matter. I would say.
Also,
It's
in the
just
Netherlands,
nomenclature.
In the Netherlands, it's also the same. Like we also go back to like counting it up again because
We're not France. France starts counting backwards.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
but
that's weird as
Just
well.
have to be difficult.
Germany
don't they?
used to do that. Germany used to do that for a while, and then we realized it's fucking weird, so we instead started just counting
See,
from 1 to
Sakiko,
13 for 30
I
years.
have a feeling that if Germany did the counting backwards thing, you'd be sitting here making
Yep!
trying to make it
Boom!
logical.
Boom!
Like I
I'm
said,
sure that
Germany
wouldn't
used,
happen.
like
I'm sure that wouldn't happen.
15 seconds ago, Germany used to do that, and we stopped doing it because it was
I'm
fucking
saying that
weird.
if you continued to
Takiko,
do
don't you
that,
think
you
it would
would be
make more logical
defending it.
sense? It would make more logical sense to
No,
count down
if
when
we
you
were
finish.
still doing that, I would say that it's fucking stupid, and we should instead start counting like normal people in the correct
I think
order.
you should go back to doing it. I think children would really appreciate counting down to the end of education. So it goes 13, 12, 10, etc.
Yeah, but
all the way down.
that is not how it went in Germany. It was really super weird. Like the first years were still like years 1 to 6 were primary school. It wasn't called that. Was called citizen school. But yeah, first 6 years were 1 to 6, and then you had like under tertia, tertia being the Latin word, over tertia, under secunda, over secunda, under prima, and over prima, which were the last 6 years of school. Which
Makes sense to
I don't
me.
know why they did that, and it is fucking weird. And I promise you, if that were still how Germany does it, I would say it's fucking weird. But at some
I
point,
suspect
we
the real
realized that it's
reason-
fucking weird, and we stopped doing it.
I suspect the real reason is like the legal obligation of what level of education, because you used to only have kids like not being homeschooled and then going into secondary school in the UK. So you'd start
Yeah.
at 1 in secondary school because that's when everyone was legally like obliged to be there. And then we added primary school and everyone went there. So primary school's a whole separate thing. So we'll do 1 to 4 there as well. And eventually, like once you've got university and private schools and weird schools that end in different places, you just have a huge mess. And if you rebuild the entire education system, then great, you can make it make sense again, but it's just not worth the effort.
Yeah.
I mean,
probably
that's
same
right.
here.
I'm not entirely sure, but I think you can't actually homeschool kids in Germany. Like, unless you're literally providing them with examined and professional teachers at home. That you can do, but then you have to hire like 20 teachers for your child, and nobody can fucking afford that, you know? So, yeah.
You probably can in special circumstances.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I'd imagine not. It's the same in the UK. Like, if your kid's like immune compromised, then it's fine.
I knew someone who was homeschooled for a couple of years, up to a couple of years into secondary. And I think she ended up going to like Oxford or Cambridge. She ended up going to Oxbridge.
Oxford. I like that.
Oxbridge. Have you never heard it before?
That is what it's called. It sounds weird, but that is what it's called.
Yeah, it's
nope,
what we call
I hadn't heard that.
Collective term.
Yeah. God, this mic looks so fucking stupid. Like, what bits are salvageable? The answer better not be nothing. This is why you need better reference images. Better stuff with this shit. The old hack and slash. If a duplicate you, flip it. Oh my god, it looks awful. Can I fix it? Maybe. No, I can't.
What is it this time?
When I was yelling about not being British, my mum came in to tell me off for being loud. That's how not British I am. Why the fuck's the layer gone? What the fuck? Is this it? Yes.
We did it. The Odin's down for the count.
How are you holding up?
Don't you worry about us. We're still in this.
Yes.
Your command.
I am going for a while. I need to order food and do shit regarding to that, as well as just not wear my headset for a bit.
Okay.
Very good.
Enjoy food.
Thanks. See ya.
Yes. Makes
Yeah, badly the call quality would drop when I try to open the internet.
boldly. forces could use some work, Arcturus.
You'll pay for that.
Our forces are under attack. Our allies are in combat.
Awaiting directive.
Our forces are under attack. Our allies are in combat.
Stupid is there isn't a button that does like,
My boys are prepping
or
to
a way
attack the
that I
Dominion.
know of to get the
Heading out
result
in
I
a
want
bit.
without a shit ton of fiddling, and that's just so unfair.
Minsk will suffer. The swarm conquers all. I am the swarm.
Our allies are in combat.
Retribution will be mine. It is time. Yes.
Our allies are in combat.
I will not let you destroy humanity's only chance at salvation.
Yes.
Our allies are in combat. Our allies are in combat. Our allies are in combat. The hive cluster is under attack.
Minsk will suffer. The swarm conquers all.
Our allies are in combat.
I am the swarm. Yes.
Our allies are in combat.
Our conquest continues. We adapt.
that moment when you aren't sure whether you should recommend reading Catcher in the Rye before or after Grapes of Wrath.
Hmm.
I think I'll put it before that because it's probably a good way to transition from Frederick Douglass to Grapes of Wrath, you know?
I'd probably say it before as well.
Matt went to a robot.
Retribution will be mine.
My boys are prepping to attack the Dominion. Heading out in a bit.
Mineral field depleted. Field depleted. Mineral field depleted. Our allies are in combat.
I think I have my list. Tell me if something obvious is missing.
I am the
Yeah, there is, I think, one Canadian author because I'm not gonna make a list specifically for Canada, and like 2 Brits just because their books fit way better with the American books in the same category than the Brits.
Is the Canadian Brian Adams?
listens.
Sorry?
Is the Canadian Brian Adams?
No, actually not.
Our allies are in combat.
Do you want another guess?
Our conquest.
No, I don't. I've made my joke. I'm happy. I'll rest upon my laurels.
We adapt.
Fair enough.
Make your peace. No time.
No, the Canadian that I included is actually Margaret Atwood.
Yeah, it makes me say
Specifically because I wanted to have the Handmaid's Tale in the same category as some of the other stories. Yeah, she's Canadian, and I'm not making a new list just for Canadians. Anyway, what I have is Democracy in America. That is an essay by Topper. Oh, also Sam, in case you weren't reading chat, Slytherin asked specifically for books that would help with understanding like politics, history, and society. And like with classic literature that would help with that. So yeah.
recommend every Terry Pratchett book.
No, actually,
All
Terry
of them.
isn't on it because I think that would not be like in the vein of things that he's looking for. I recommend
No, but it's
them.
good to see how
I recommend them, but
how
they
those
don't.
stories have influenced Terry Pratchett, because you will be able to pull themes into Terry Pratchett's books from them.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that, but what I'm saying is he's specifically looking for like political and. Let me run through
Terry
the.
Pratchett has plenty of commentary.
Oh, Terry Pratchett
Ellie.
can get political. Terry
Ellie,
Pratchett's
There's so
Ellie,
much
pretty
political
monster.
commentary in Terry
Ellie,
Pratchett.
let me do it like I'll run through the list.
It's
and we can
great! Monstrous Regiment!
Ellie.
2 off the top of my head.
But every single Vimes one ever written.
Every Vimes.
We are without limit.
Our allies are in combat.
We adapt. The swarm conquers.
Let's do it like this. I'll run you through the list. And if you still genuinely think that Terry Pratchett books belong in this list afterwards, I'll put him in the list of British literature. Like, he's gonna be with a lot of the Neil Gaiman stuff. That's why I'll put him in the British list instead of the American one. If you genuinely think he belongs. But yeah, first listen to the list and see whether you genuinely think that is a good fit, because you will notice that there is like a specific focus.
If Gaiman's on there, he should be on there.
So, I mean, Gaiman
you
will
shouldn't
be.
have just
Gaiman will be.
Gaiman and Pratchett.
Gaiman will be on the British list, but specifically more for political writing and not his fantasy books, you know? So...
Terry Pratchett does political stuff in his fantasy.
Yeah, but he wanted specifically to have Discworld books on there.
That is his political and fantasy.
That is yes. That is what that is.
Seriously,
you cannot take the politics out of Discworld. It's inherent to the
list. Can I please just go through the list before you try to make a call on whether it fits with the rest of this list?
You get started, Takiko. We'll heckle as you go. It's fine.
Okay, so Ralph Waldo Emerson, any Emerson, all Emerson, just Emerson, any of his essays or speeches. Democracy in America by Alexis de Tocqueville, no, wait, I said that already. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Malcolm X's autobiography. River of Names by Dorothy Allison, Of Plymouth Plantation by William Bradford, The Significance of the Frontier in American History by Frederick Turner, The Autobiography of Benjamin Franklin, Up From Slavery by Booker T. Washington, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith, This Is America by Childish Gambino, that is a song, but the music video is very awash in symbolism and like political messages and shit. Gender Outlaw by Kate Bornstein, Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl by Harriet Jacobs, Drinking Coffee Elsewhere by Zizi Packer, The Melting Pot by Israel Zangwill, Migration Time by Elle West, I think. A speech or two by the televangelist Bishop T.D. Jakes. Political speeches. My recommendations are I Have a Dream by Martin Luther King, The Acceptance Address by John F. Kennedy, and The Acceptance Speech by George McGovern. Maybe also Jesse Jackson's speech at the convention of the Democratic Party. Cotton Mather, The Trial of Martha Carrier. Edward Taylor, Who's We Free? Thomas Paine, Common Sense. Essays from Henry David Thoreau, specifically Walden. Emily Dickinson, just poems, all the poems. Walt Whitman, Song of Myself. Nathaniel Hawthorne, Young Goodman Brown. Bartleby the Scrivener by Herman Melville. The Open Boat by Stephen Crane. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock by T.S. Eliot. In a Station of the Metro by Ezra Pound. The Red Wheelbarrow by William Carlos Williams. Scottsboro 2 is Worth Its Song, and Heritage, both by County Cullen. The Negro Speaks of Rivers, and I Too by Langston Hughes. Passing by Nella Larson, Against Interpretation by Susan Sontag. A Postmodern Position by Raymond Federman. I think subtitle is Sir Fiction, or it might be the other way around. Lost in the Funhouse by John Barth. A Wife's Story by Bharati Mukherjee, I'm guessing. It's an Indian name. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. She Had Some Horses by Joy Harjo. Mouse by Art Spiegelman. That's the only comic that I have so far on the list, although I'm considering to include Sandman for the British version. The Essays and or Speeches by Sajana Truth. The Narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket by Edgar Allan Poe. I'm not entirely sure it needs to be on the list, but I think it would be weird to have a list of, like, important American literature and not have Poe on it anywhere. Barn Burning by William Faulkner. Doctor and the Doctor's Wife by Ernest Hemingway. Mayday by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. No Name Woman by Maxine Hong Kingston. Oh god, this is a long one. Because my father always said he was the only Indian who saw Jimi Hendrix play The Star-Spangled Banner at Woodstock by Sherman Alexie.
Sherman Alexie, fuck yeah. Yeah, you have to include Alexie.
Yeah. Any and all books by Frederick Douglass, like, essentially just pick any. The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain, mostly because of how they age. Moby Dick by Herman Melville, The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck, 1984 by George Orwell. That's the first of the two Brits that I included because the subject matter just fits way better here. Margaret Atwood, The Handmaid's Tale, Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. That's the other Brit. Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury, and Foundation and Empire, and Second Foundation, all by Isaac Asimov. That's the list that I have so far.
Pratchett still needs to be on there.
Sorry, what should be on there?
Pratchett still needs to be on there.
Pratchett.
Yeah, like.
Yeah.
Okay, then give me a book or two that you would say should go on it. And where should it go?
It depends what you want, because if you want gender stuff, you've got stuff like equal
I don't
rights,
want
Monsters Regiment,
anything.
Witches.
Equal rights is what I would choose. Equal rights is a good one.
Okay,
Yeah.
In that case,
If
my
you want class inequality, police shit, and like that sort of stuff, I'd say Vames. If you want
Equal rights, The Tea Time of the Gods. Those are probably my top two recommends.
Okay, so
you got a lot of commentary on both
it's very
religions.
hard to find a Discworld book that doesn't have some sort of social commentary in it.
So his whole thing
rights,
is basically social commentary.
Equal rights, I'm thinking, would probably go with Gender Rebel. I'm not entirely sure where the fuck I put that in. The list is actually ordered in order that I recommend he read it. That is why I'm looking where the fuck I put Gender Rebel. It's God damn it, where are you? Mouse or story? Gender Outlaw. Probably after This Is America by Childish Gambino, which is song, and before Gender Outlaw by Kate Bornstein, because that one is a lot more like serious, and I feel like Pratchett would probably be a better transition from like a music video to a very serious essay, probably on a similar topic.
Thud's another one that's quite good for political and social commentary.
That is good. Yeah.
I didn't catch what you said.
Thud is another Terry Pratchett one that's very good for social commentary and politics.
So, do you agree that Thud should be in there?
I mean, you could throw a lot of them in there. Equal rights or Thud, I think.
Yeah, Equal Rights is the one that I put between This Is America and Gender Outlaw.
Right, so Thud is more...
Thud's more race and politics.
Yeah,
I know. I'm
racial
asking
politics. It's straight up racial politics. There's no...
I'm asking whether you two agree that Thud is the one I should...
Both.
I'd say both. I think they're both very good.
But you agree on Thud?
Yes.
I mean, we agreed on both of them, to be honest.
In that case, Thud... Like, I have two areas that kind of touch on race. I have very early on the autobiography by Malcolm X and River of Names by Dorothy Allison, which both touch on race in different ways. I mean, Malcolm X is a very angry way to touch on race. It's also the first bit on race.
Quite an angry person.
I then have, well, that is not actually commentary on slavery, ironically. I have Up From Slavery by Booker T. Washington in here, but I don't think that's a good fit because I didn't actually include it as commentary on slavery primarily. I still have further down... Where the hell did that go? Oh, here, I have The Negro Speaks of Rivers and I Too by Langston Hughes, which, in my opinion, fit very well, but are both poems. So I'm not sure that is a perfect fit. And then, even further down, I have... Where do I have it? Somewhere... Oh, here, I have... I lost it. Where the fuck did it go? Oh, She Had Some Horses by Joy Harjo and Maus by Spiegelman, which is a commentary on Nazism, not primarily on race, but also touches on that. Not entirely sure where where Thud would go.
Racial politics.
Racial politics. Toss it in there next to Malcolm X, because the juxtaposition will make it entertaining.
Okay. If you want juxtaposition, then probably Thud first to like as a lighthearted introduction to the topic. No, actually, no, that is dumb because I probably go from more more explicit text to less explicit text, and it's very much subtext.
It's pretty,
but very explicit in Malcolm X.
It's pretty explicit in Thud. It is straight up.
Not quite the same way though. I'd go Malcolm X.
Yeah. It's for fantasy. It is explicit. Let me rephrase.
No, what I'm thinking is autobiography of Malcolm X, River of Names by Dorothy Allison, of Plymouth Plantation by William Bradford, and then probably Thud. Does that sound logical?
I think that would work. Yeah. Terry Pratchett is a very engaging way to kind of like come across all this stuff, because it's light-hearted and it's a fantasy allegory. Like, it's really easy to engage with without getting stuck in one
what I'm thinking is basically you get yelled at angrily by Malcolm X while you read his autobiography, but also he's very explicit. Like, there is no fucking way you're gonna misinterpret what he's trying to say, you know? There just is no fucking way you misunderstand it. Then River of Names is like a very flowery language that is kind of like more of a conciliatory tone, if that makes sense. Then of Plymouth Plantation, it's very like, I don't know how to put it. It is more distanced, you know? It is neither nice nor angry, it's just more distant, less personal. And then Thud is like, basically Thud is where you can take what you've learned in the last 3 texts and basically find the allegories in Thud. That makes sense?
Absolutely so.
Okay, Sam, anything else that should be in there?
I don't think so.
Okay. Do you want to include a third Terry Pratchett, or do you think Thud and Equal Rights is,
I'd be tempted to throw in Tea Time for the Tea Time of the Gods, but it depends how heavy you're going into religion.
I only have one thing that is explicitly on religion. That would be the televangelist. I forgot his name.
Is there a Terry Pratchett one which very, very obviously, even by Pratchett standards, focuses on class politics? That'd be a good one.
I would actually put that one with the British ones, because class politics is just more important to British politics, so I think I would include that with British politics.
Yeah.
Instead of the American one, you know?
I'm not sure there actually is one that's specifically class politics.
Yeah.
None of the fantasy setting really has that. Terry Pratchett wasn't particularly interested in class that divides. In kind of human qualities.
You can kind of argue for it in some of the books that are on veterinary focus, and like, or the.
You can argue it with the watch ones, but you can't fully you cannot say it is focused on this. Whereas with like, say, divines or witches, it's very much on kind of like specific sorts of inequality.
It's more socioeconomic inequality rather than genuine class politics.
Yeah.
Okay, so probably this is it for this list, and then maybe something might be more relevant from Pratchett for the British list, right?
Probably quite a lot.
Sorry?
This is like an endless list. Like, every time you read one thing, you can just toss another thing on. So.
I mean, I'm gonna read you the introduction. Here's the list for American literature. I'm including Canada in that because fuck you. Culture and history, many philosophers, also some political essays, speeches, and fictional texts that are exemplary for the historical, political, or literary period they were written in. Ordered roughly by order in which I recommend reading them for maximum understanding and context. I suggest allotting about a year for all of this if you want to spend about 2 hours reading each week. Calculate with more or less time depending on how much or less you want to read it. You know? Like, I'm trying to give him realistic goals. Like, I think all of these are great, but also I am very aware that there are many books and it'll take time to read all of these.
I mean, his goal is relatively unrealistic to begin with, but
Yeah, I mean,
we'll do what we can.
I don't expect him to read all of it. I'm just saying, if he wants to read all of it, I expect it would take about a year, you know? And if he says, I'm
Yeah.
gonna focus on this for like a month, but I'm gonna spend 4 hours reading each week instead of 2, just for example, then he might want to pick every 6th one or something, you know?
But even if he reads it all in a month, like it's still like a droplet in the ocean.
Yeah,
It
I
just goes
mean,
on forever.
but I'm hoping if he reads through a good part of this, then after that he will have enough background, because he's not reading it to actually read books. He's reading it because he wants to understand politics and like the socio-economic development behind it. And I hope he has enough of an understanding after that that he can just pick other texts to read himself. You know.
It's a pretty solid list, especially for like starting off. What's the British one? The German one I'm going to be absolutely no use with, unless it's Wagner.
I haven't thought much about the British one yet. I mean, there are some very obvious things like Shakespeare and Chaucer. Actually, I put Shakespeare pretty late because I think you need to understand that he's basically writing in slang before it makes a lot of sense to read Shakespeare. So I'm actually going to put that pretty late. I'm arguing whether I want.
Actually, that helpful.
Sorry?
I'm not sure Shakespeare's actually that helpful in understanding it, to be honest.
That's what I was going to say. I'm arguing whether Chaucer, like, I think
Chaucer would be
Chaucer
better,
makes sense because it is very formative for the English language. Like, not so much because of the content, but because of how important it is for the language itself. But the problem with that is for that to be understandable, you need to read it in Middle English.
Have you read Discworld?
Sorry?
Have you read Discworld?
Yes, of course.
Sorry, but it's still tripping me out. Go on.
Takiko, I reckon Dickens rather than Chaucer. That's right, Dickens rather than Shakespeare.
I mean, I was gonna put Dickens on it anyway. The thing with Chaucer is, I think it would be great for what he's actually looking for. You know, with like what he's actually looking for in his reading. Problem is, for that to work, it would have to be in Middle English, and I don't know that I want to drop Middle English on him. You know, like there are modern translations of Chaucer, but they're not gonna help with the reasons why I would include Chaucer on the list. You know.
Shakespeare's not that far from Middle English. Like, he invented half those words.
No. Shakespeare is early modern English, and apart from like you still being the plural form exclusively, and some words having an extra letter that isn't there anymore, it's very much a modern.
At least, I mean, Tristram Shandy should probably go on that list actually. But then you do have to watch out for the F and the F and the F.
I didn't catch what you said should be on the list.
Tristram Shandy, what I was talking about earlier in chat.
I wasn't looking at chat, like me.
Like, wherever it is in my voice, in my DB audio, whatever.
I'm scrolling.
Close to me, without some kind of insurance policy. Clearly, you are my greatest failure. Now, at long last, you will die. Change of plans.
You can never suffer enough for all the lives you've ruined.
Unless it's just popping in and out.
Yeah,
the reason ballistic is dropping in and out.
He
It's
sometimes
only
has
staying this time. To give Sam a friendly reminder.
You made us all into monsters.
Hey, Buster, can you not do that if it's deliberate?
I remember what it reminds me of. It reminds me of Hyde. That's what it reminds me of.
Sam.
Buster, if that takes pronunciation stuff is deliberate, please stop.
It is like nails on a chalkboard.
So the full title is The Life and Opinions of Tristram Shandy, Gentleman, right?
Yeah. But commonly referred to as Tristram Shandy because it's a long as fuck title, and everyone knows.
I don't disagree, but when I'm recommending shit, I like to include the full title because I think how people will look for it, you know?
It's been in print every single year since it was first published way back. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's also the earliest case I can think of novel writing thinking outside the box, like away from the conventional structuring of a novel. So it is kind of interesting on like a contemporary level.
Yeah, it's an early version of it. I think depending on whether you count like letter novels as quote unquote normal novel writing style, that might have been earlier, some of them, but yeah.
Any earlier? I can't think of any off the top of my head anyway. But it's particularly interesting given when you consider the writer is a vicar.
I only caught half of that because there was like a wind noise.
Tristram Shandy is very good. It's all the more interesting when you know about the writer, Lawrence Sterne himself, because Lawrence Sterne is a vicar and quite a controversial figure in the church because of his writing.
I'm considering like for the German list to include a bunch of like medieval philosophers because almost all of that was religious philosophy, but not what you would expect with like everything is Christian and shit like that, but actually also like what is religion, like how do we derive the truth from religion and
You're
shit
just going to
like
make
that.
him read everything Hegel ever wrote.
Yes! No, but actually I think that might be interesting, and there just are a shitload of German philosophers from the Middle Ages that wrote about shit like that, you know? That's why I'm thinking maybe some there.
I mean, there are definitely a few that should be on the list. Whether you need to read all of them is another matter.
Just dropped in real quick, and then I'm gonna drop out because I obviously don't belong in this conversation. But anyway,
I don't know you don't belong in the conversation, man.
Because
yeah, you kind of missed the part where you would probably have been able to contribute more, but that doesn't mean that you can't stay around and contribute this, you know? Like.
No, from like the 2 times within the last 10 minutes I tried to join. From even the little snippets, this is not a conversation I should be in. For the good of my blood pressure. Anyway.
We're just talking about literature, my man.
A friendly request.
Literature can't raise your blood pressure that high.
If you can get around to updating POS before Wednesday on
your
website,
okay,
would be fantastic.
Very good.
Oh, Kiko, Oscar Wilde for the British list.
Oh yeah, Oscar Wilde. Importance of being earnest. There you go. Pass it on there.
Ooh, Dorian Gray's better.
Well, yeah, for a shorter little snippet, yeah.
Who else? Also possibly Byron.
I mean,
Byron is a very interesting insight into a certain period of.
Yeah. With Byron, I'm not sure. Again, like I would.
Okay, Skiko. No, hang on. Did you put any Mark Twain on there?
Yeah.
Yes, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. I was considering also something that is like
Connecticut Yankee.
Straightforward, you know.
Put on Connecticut Yankee. It's satire, but it's so in.
Satire is like the best way to engage with these topics.
Yeah.
Like genuinely.
Yeah, like Connecticut fucking Yankee. I cannot. Yeah, for sure that one. Because also that one's like, it's this weird intersection of American and like quasi-English shit. So you can kind of see like how like someone who's kind of being goofy about it in America in that period is seeing like, oh, the feudal era and King Arthur and blah blah blah. Like that, yeah, that would be great.
If
what
Don
is the
Quixote's not on this list, it could be.
what is the actual title? Because I know what you're talking about, but I'm pretty sure that's not the title from what the German translation is.
A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's court.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I read that for the first time a couple of years ago. Well, I say I read it. I listened to Nick Offerman read it, which was a fucking wonderful experience. But yeah, that like, and it's I don't remember it being over long either. But it's like, God, Mark Twain is like that's been on the tip of my mind for the last 15 minutes because I didn't hear you say Huck Finn. But like that is an author that it doesn't seem plausible that he is from as long ago as he was. Because we're just used to like he's like, you know, what I think the way Sarah explained it to me was like, well, it wasn't that no one would talk in that way, it's just he's the only one that would write that way. He wrote in a more casual way, you know, and that's like
the thing with Mark Twain is I'm probably gonna put the Connecticut Yankee on the British list.
Why?
For the reason
It's an American author.
It's very American.
Because I'm also putting. Can I answer the question?
Yes, you can.
No.
Well,
no, you may not.
Because already on the American list with one book, he's gonna be on the German list with a different book because of
Symmetry be damned. Symmetry be damned because he is American.
Yes, but it's specifically in King Arthur's court.
It's
it's
not. Yeah, it's so American. It's like it's like it's not saying this is British. This is a British thing. It's saying this is a fantasy thing. So it has.
A thing of 741. So
it has.
So anyway, where do I put it? Because of I don't have a lot of economics in this list. Where do I put it?
Class. Right?
I don't think I have a lot of class either, because again, this is the American class issues are much more pertinent to the British list than of the American.
Class issues are still a thing in America.
The main theme.
I'm not saying it isn't. I'm saying I don't know where to put it in the list.
So the main themes of Connecticut Yankee are class and intellectualism. Like science versus ignorance kind of thing, but also class. And like in a way, Connecticut Yankee is like, what if HPMLR was done well and was trying to have the message it had? And was written really fucking well.
Maybe Battle Be the
That
Scrivener.
is the most fanfic reader explanation I've ever heard for a book.
Am I wrong?
I mean,
so I have Melville.
I'm not wrong though. Hang on, I gotta go to the bathroom.
I have Melville's Bartleby the Scrivener on here. I'm thinking maybe between that and Crane's the Open. No, actually, it doesn't have anything.
It's not an amazing fit anywhere.
Maybe between Young Goodman Brown and Bartleby the Scrivener. Hawthorne, Melville. Seems
it's as good as anywhere I've seen. Let me just scroll a bit further.
Okay. You see what I mean, right? I don't really have a lot on socioeconomics in here, because that is not actually primarily an issue in America, because just everybody is poor. Apart from like the top 1%, everybody is poor in America, so it's just not that big an issue in literature most of the time.
Welcome to the oligarchy, Sakiko.
What?
Welcome to the oligarchy.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's probably as good as anywhere. I was tempted to bump it down like 4 or 5 spots from there, but yeah.
You mean what books?
I mean, I was tempted to put in Sontag and Federman.
Where in the list is that? Because
I don't know. It's just like a gut feel that it.
No. Where in the list are you looking? Because I'm trying to find it in the list now. Orientation.
It is. Where are we? Wherever you were, it's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Is Moby Dick in?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
looking there.
okay, good. Okay.
What did you say, Matt?
Susan Sontag and Raymond Fetterman. Between there.
Yeah, what I asked is where they
Right,
are.
it's
I know they're on the list. I don't know where though.
Just scroll till you find them.
Oh yeah,
They're not very far. They're not very far
yes,
below Melville.
Sontag and Fetterman. I don't know, like that is both of those texts. I don't know whether you've read them, but both of those are highly theoretical texts that are on literature. Like they're texts on literature and literature studies. I'm not sure
That is why I
socioeconomic
quite
issues
like it in the
fit
middle.
in there very well.
King Arthur is essentially just literature. Like he's not a real person. Like he's not really. And they're so. I don't know, is clinical quite the right word in their like approach? So having something different in between the two.
Yeah, no.
Struck me
I
as
get what you mean on like breaking the monotony, but also the point is that it's kind of supposed to lead like into each other. That's why the two theoretical texts are at the beginning of like the postmodern area.
Yeah,
like
that's like
Lost
leading
in the
into
Sun
each
has
other in
my
the way that.
story, she had some horses, and that bullshit is all very postmodern. That's why Against Interpretation and the Postmodern Position are before that. So he gets an understanding of what the fuck is even going on with those texts.
It kind of feels leading into each other in the way that a left hook leads into a right hook, and then the reader's out for the count. But
Yeah.
I do get what you mean. There's not an ideal spot for it anywhere. I think maybe Melville. Like
You're thinking what?
where you put it before, Melville and Crane.
Yeah. I'm thinking probably Hawthorne and Melville actually, because the open boat is again like that is very much subtext, that text. So maybe between Hawthorne and Melville, and then it can lead kind of into Buttlebeat's Scrivener.
Yeah, that would probably work.
Moby Dick is so fucking good.
Yeah, actually I placed that one way further down than I normally would because I think it could work as like a good palate cleanser, you know?
Yeah, between Crane and Steinbeck, you're gonna need something.
You wouldn't what?
You're gonna need something between Twain and Steinbeck. At least you haven't put loads of Steinbeck on here. Some like recommended American lists are like half, like everything Steinbeck ever wrote, and then like everything Twain ever wrote, and it's like probably what, mid-20s, I think. Twain's got quite a lot of stuff.
Fun fact: adding a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's court makes my message too long.
What's it?
I can't because someone else sent a message since then, so I would have.
Reply to your message.
You're in mod, just delete it.
Takiko, seriously, just reply to your message and then take out the bit that's too long and say continue at the top. I've done it before. People can follow messages that way.
Yeah, but
Just
I don't
computers
like
aren't
writing
that
messages
dumb.
that way.
Or Sakiko, what you can do is like delete your I'm including Canada because fuck you, and get some characters back.
Now let me try whether that's enough characters back. I'm not sure it will be, but I can try that.
You can probably get some out of that first paragraph.
Yeah.
A little bit of wrangling.
I'm just gonna shorten maximum to max, and that might be enough. Let's try that. Yep, that works.
Swarm's attack route to reach the captives. Move forward only when it is clear. Avoid the Zerg's forces at all costs.
Yeah, like, the British list won't be as long. Not least of all because I already included 2 important Brits that I wanted to include in this list just because it was more fitting thematically, you know? Like, I'm trying to sort them somewhat by geographic location, but not because it's just easier for me to think of them like that, you know? But since Muffin is reading them for content and themes and not for geographic location, I would rather put someone in a different nation than they belong to if the themes are the same as what they wrote about than have someone be randomly in the nation that they belong to, but with completely different themes, if that makes sense.
Thunderstorm.
The swarm gathers for an attack. Warriors, stay clear of the Zerg's path.
Minions, push forward. Slay these hybrid trolls to the last.
This would be so much easier with a drawing tablet. So much easier.
You are fighting your laptop?
I mean, I don't have a proper desk, because I'm in a holiday cottage. Why would a holiday cottage have a proper desk? You're on holiday. Even if it did, I doubt my parents would let me use it at like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I get.
Eliminate the Protoss base. Glory to our master.
I'm just going to banish for a couple of minutes, Gigo. So if you come up with a British list, I'd appreciate it if you could hold on for like 5 minutes.
Will do. I probably need more than 5 minutes anyway.
Understandable. It's probably going to be a long list.
Eliminate the central reactor.
Justice be You have not enough minerals.
Oh, I know who needs to go on the British literature list.
Your mother.
No, because she is not actually British.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought
But
she was.
I am tempted to actually include her on the German list just as a joke somewhere in there because she has written a book. But then also it would be very easy to track that back to me because she would be the only one who hasn't actually written like a classic, you know? So probably not.
Put Marion Zimmer Bradley on there.
I mean, I know your fucking last name, but I don't think many other people do.
Yeah, I think
I do. I know I do as well.
I mean, Matt does, obviously, because he got sent stuff by me and sent me stuff, so he kinda needs to know my last name. And then I think 2 people on Treehouse, and that's about it, as far as I know. Oh no, actually, no, I don't think, I was gonna say Athena, but I don't think Athena actually has my last name, because she said we should send shit to, like, each other's family members, so I think she has my aunt's last name. Not that I would have minded giving her my last name, it was just that we do that, and I was like, okay, sure, you know, that works for me. Yeah, no, anyway, who I forgot who definitely to go on the British list is William Wordsworth.
Yeah, Wordsworth should be on there. I'm not a huge fan of Wordsworth, but
One of
No,
my
I'm not either, but
Sarah's
especially
professors called him Wordsworthless.
I mean, look, I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of Wordsworth, but World War II poetry is kind of really important for British history, and like
Tell the
Wordsworth
children
is
the
like,
old lie.
in which case you should
Wordsworth,
probably have like
and
Three Creatures
Wordsworth
Food
is like the number one name
Secret
that,
Owen. And who's the guy who did the poems about how like war is fucking hell? Oh my god, stop lying to
I
kids
can't remember.
about it.
I keep trying to say like Russell Owen, but that's not it. It's Owen something else.
It's a guy who said teach the children the old like proprietary Moya blah blah blah.
Oh, yeah, no, that's the guy I'm trying to think of.
I think
Yeah.
you're
No, that's not
aware
actually his words. That's a quote he's stolen.
I think you're aware of this, but just to make absolutely sure in case it wasn't entirely obvious, I'm not building these lists based on what I personally like. Like, a lot of the stuff I do like, because otherwise I wouldn't even know about it, but I'm trying to compile them for...
These poems are very, very... The guy we're trying to remember is very...
I think it's Owen Wilson. I'm gonna have to Google that.
Yeah,
like,
maybe it's something like that, and it's World War II aftermath from a soldier. Like,
Wilfred
done
Owen.
with
There you go.
war.
It's the wrong way around.
That,
Wilfred Owen.
Yeah. War is bullshit. War is hell. Don't do this to people. Stop lying to them about how honourable it is, sort of thing. It is straight up. That.
And yet, nothing has changed. It remains a sweet and seemly thing.
Or is it? It is worthy and honourable to die for one's country, or whatever the fuck that translates to.
The technical translation is it's a sweet and seemly thing for one's country to die, which is the exact translation of the Latin.
This is kind of less like. This one is less direct, but basically in the same vein. Charles Solly's To Germany. It's a very short one. I can read it out.
I mean, you could probably find poets on both sides of World War One because the general reaction to it was very similar on no matter which trench line you were in.
I mean, it was still bullshit no matter which side you were fighting.
It was
on,
like,
yeah.
oh, this is something we would prefer not to be the case, basically. You know, yeah.
What do you
like to go home now?
Not?
All other things being equal, we would prefer not this as opposed to this. You know.
Christmas
my
was
friend
some
who would
time
not
ago.
tell with such high zest to children ardent person desperate glory the old light dulciet decorum est proprietary honori. It is the translation I was given was it is sweet and fitting to die for one's country.
I have
Decorum is
Wilfred
more
Owen.
seemly.
I have Wilfred Owen, who I would include next to Wordsworth, with Anthem for Doomed Youth.
Siegfried and Soon is the other one you can throw in for war poets.
That reminds me of that
Wilfred
song,
Owen.
Wilfred Owen Was Her. I'm so fucking droll.
I didn't even hear most of that.
That's
sorry.
fine. It was not worth clarifying to any extent.
Don't repeat it. It's
Yeah,
not.
it was the worst.
If you want war poetry, Flanders Fields, just in terms of you will be depressed, but that's kind of
like the Wilfred Owen one that I'm thinking of. It's a very short one. It's 2 stanzas. It runs like this. What passing bells for these who die as cattle? Only the monstrous anger of the gun. Only the stuttering rifle's rapid rattle can patter out their hasty orison. No mockeries now for them, nor prayers nor bells, nor any voice of mourning save the choirs. Shrill, demented choirs of wailing shells, and bugles calling for them from sad shires. What candles may be held to speed them all, not in the hands of boys but in their eyes, shall shine the holy glimmers of goodbyes. Peller of girls' brows shall be their paw, their flowers the tenderness of patient minds, and each the drawing down of blinds. That is World War One, not World War Two, but I think it's a pretty good contrast to
World War One has the
Wordsworth.
better poetry because by
Yeah.
World War Two, all the aristocrats who learned to do poetry were dead, so there was no one left to write good poetry.
Yeah.
I think that works as a contrast for Wordsworth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not quite I float gentle as a cloud. Wordsworth. He just drifted around, going like, "Oh, that's a pretty cloud. Oh, look at those flowers, aren't they lovely?"
Well, you know what? Actually, you know what? Now that you said cloud, I kinda want to include that. Like
I mean, there
the
are so
one that
many
is
you can
called
have though.
what is it called? Oh, I wandered lonely as a cloud. That one.
Yeah, that's one of those more famous ones. Like, there's so many you can add, like Keating's, Keats. I had a couple of more. Shelley, Byron. Byron, I'm particularly fond of. Shelley's quite good as well. There's a long list of English poets that have written decent stuff.
I want to say add Burns to the list, but what poem would you pick and why you?
From who? I didn't catch what you said.
I want to say add Burns.
Who's that terrible Scottish poet?
No, you're not sullying Scotland with that. I don't know. I've never read it.
He's Scottish and you know it. He's Scottish.
If he's Scottish, you're English with all those implications. All of the implications that you identify as British to avoid. You're fucking English. It's one of my friends was like, yeah, so what is British? And I'm like, well, technically it just means people from the UK. But it also means I'm from England. But I don't want to say I'm English because implications.
British only means English to people who are not English. I always find it really funny. All the English people who aren't racist are we're British, and all the racist people are we're English. And then anyone in Wales or Scotland or Ireland or Cornwall for whatever reason goes, oh yeah, no, we're Scottish or Irish or Welsh or Cornish because British means English.
Yeah.
It's it does.
So it was my friend was like, okay, England's from England, Irish from Ireland, and so on. And they were like, okay, so what's British? And I was like, yeah, basically true. But British also means I'm from England, but not a right-wing arsehole. There's so many implications with identifying as English compared to identifying as Scottish. With Scottish, the implications are just you like Scotland, and yeah, those are some of the implications. Whereas the implications with identifying
Scottish people liking Scotland is fine. But English people liking England is terrible because all the English people who are so proud to be English are just the worst people. How would that even happen?
If you're proud of being Scottish, it's likely that just means you like a nice pint. You know, it's fine. It's okay.
The entire UK, we're just a nation of alcoholics.
Yeah, it's not really about liking nice pint or whatever. It's kind of
deserve no mercy.
You voted S&P once.
Yeah. Is this where I say I've basically almost always voted S&P because they're the least likely to fuck me over?
That means you vote simp.
Just wait till they drag you out of the UK and
you vote simp. You're a simp. You vote simp.
It's so I'm not gonna say much on stream other than or online in general. But I work in England, and even 2F2 does happen, and Scotland does leave the UK. I am going to be very fucked until all the paperwork is sorted. Because then I will be a foreign national, even though I have a British passport from birth, because Scotland.
It's right. I'm sure the paperwork will happen really fast, Ali. We know how efficient our government is.
How long did it take for us to leave the EU?
We might die of old age before we can come back into English.
I have to ask, I know the chance is very, very close to 0, but Ali, do you think you understand enough German to understand a sonnet in German?
I have a high school level, if that, understanding of German.
I mean,
would you like me to
nothing.
try? Because if you understand it, then I think you would find it very amusing, but I genuinely just can't tell whether you would understand it or not.
I mean, we might just giggle at the silly German words anyway, so like we will enjoy it either way.
I mean, okay, I'm gonna put the text in the chat as well, because I doubt that, you know, that
I have
it'll help.
auditory processing up the wazoo
That
right now.
that would be useful actually. Like with the actual written, I can probably get through some of it.
We're not gonna do it right now. I'm gonna put the text, general text. Just if you can look over that and understand like most of the word, then it might be worth trying. If you look at it and go like, nope, I have no fucking clue what he even wants, then it's probably not worth trying, you know? It's in general text.
See, look, if my brain wasn't fried, I could give it a good stab, but my brain just got to the end of the first line and midway through the second and just went, fuck this shit. So, not just
Nah,
now.
I'm not. I'm getting like 20% of that, which just isn't enough.
I mean, you're still getting 20% more than Sam, so there's that.
Like all I'm picking out there is like anglophonic words, Latin roots, and like the very small amount of German that I actually know.
I'm also not being entirely serious. Pretty sure Sam will understand some of the words as well, but yeah. Like, there is a difference between understanding the individual words and like finding it funny because of what it is. Actually, though, let me quickly
Oh yeah, shit. I meant to do that.
Because Jane is online and she will find it funny.
It's such a shame. I'm so terrible at languages. I should do this and then probably need to dip and sleep.
Oh, there we go. Jane is typing. Jane is still typing. Oh, also John Milton.
Yeah.
Anything specific that you think should go in there?
Fuck
He's
Milton.
someone I'd add for completeness rather
Fuck
than someone
Milton! I just scared my cats.
Okay, Sam.
Like,
just to reiterate, this is not about finding best authors, but the ones that will probably be most instructive.
Hey, you know what? Go fuck you too.
Basically, you read through like an absolute essay
no
of shit
offense,
just to find like 3 good lines in Paradise Lost.
No offense, Sam, but not now.
Oh, later then. Okay, good.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, anything specific from Milton?
No offense, it's Sam. Full offense, never.
Like, Paradise Lost or nothing. Like, it's the only thing worth reading that he's written, and it's still not amazing.
Yeah, again, I'm not including stuff because it's good. I actually considered whether I want to drop like Atlas Shrugged onto it, not because it's good, but because it's, it's the kind of thing you probably want to read if you want to understand the period it was written in. That is kind of the question that I'm working with here. Fucking hell, Jade is still typing. Yeah, like oh, there we go. I'm not saying Milton is a good writer or anything, or I wouldn't usually recommend his stuff. I'm just saying, Yeah, I'm not joking. This poem is actually a limerick that is pretending to be a sonnet. Like the outer shape of a sonnet, but in terms of humor and word choice and all of that bullshit, it's a limerick. It's a limerick pretending to be a sonnet.
Spec structure, you can't just say this group of words is a limerick.
One day I'm going to accept one of these Google Docs suggestions and but it is not this day.
What did you say? Matt?
I said one day I'm going to actually accept one of these Google Doc suggestions, but it's not this day.
I mean, the suggestions that
bad.
Google Docs does when it thinks it has spotted what you're trying to say, and you go like, no fucker, that is actually my very own conlang. Please do not correct that into English.
It never tries to correct my conlang or anything like that. It just randomly tries to correct my English into like incorrect English or stuff that means something completely different. It is so bad.
I have removed so many suggestions of wand into want or wand into wall and that kind of bullshit,
It likes to try and change ward into worn as well, which drives me mad.
True, that too.
Yeah, so before I downloaded the Scottish dictionary and what is it called? And keyboard to my phone, it kept correcting my Scots. Like my Scottish English, it kept correcting it, and I'm like, no, my good friend. I am writing Scottish English. This is the correct spelling of this word. This is an actual word. And then I think about it and go, oh shit, yeah, it's Scots, okay. And then I downloaded the Scots the keyboard and it started behaving like magic.
I'm thinking for the British list I will have to include a few plays, because like playwriting is so integral to British culture, and like how much has been like how much of British politics and societal concerns has been put to playwriting, that kind of to be in there.
Akiko,
yes,
that's a recommendation. Yes, Minister. That is something you should definitely watch. That is like the perfect description of British politics in recent times.
Talking the original before it came back as like Yes Prime Minister or what the fuck.
Yeah, the original Yes Prime Minister is still good, but Yes Minister is better. It's more.
Can you give me, like, it's been ages since I watched any of that. Can you give me like one or two good episodes? I would take the introductory one and then maybe one or two other ones. I don't want to drop a whole ass TV show on him,
They are all excellent, honestly.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're not. I'm saying he might not want to interrupt his reading with like a full, like, what is it? Three series TV show,
It's series, yeah, Yes Minister.
It's camera brain come online enough for me to be able to
I mean,
say it.
most of
what
the.
about Blackadder?
Two-headed turtle. That's quite cool.
What about Blackadder, especially the war ones?
Blackadder. I prefer Yes Minister to Blackadder. Blackadder is also good, but it's less.
Never seen Yes Minister.
I highly recommend it. You'll definitely enjoy it. Like,
I'll add
definitely
it.
enjoy it.
I'll add it to.
Especially these days. It's only got more relevant again.
Oh no, I hate it when they're like, haha, it's a shit show. And then you
Most of
come
the
back
best
and watch
bits
it.
are on
and
YouTube,
it's-
but dear God, is it great? Like, slightly depressing, but like truly great.
I'm thinking whether I want to include 40 Towers because there is so much commentary on class issues in there, but also if you haven't watched a lot of Monty Python, like I don't know whether the humor will fly with him, and I can't very well go watch all of Monty Python and then watch 40 Towers. I mean, at that point it's just getting excessive. At that
Watch
point it's not a
all
reading
of
list
Monty
anymore, but a
Python.
watching list. Sorry?
I mean,
You just need
probably
to
should
watch
watch.
a lot of it.
Probably should watch Monty Python. At the very least, The Meaning of
Yeah.
Life and The Holy Grail. In fact, you can
Yeah.
put The Holy Grail in next to yeah, put it in next to Twain. Two very different depictions of King
I
Arthur's
thought we
court.
didn't want Twain there.
No, I'm joking. Don't actually put it next to. Don't actually put it next to Yogi.
So what I'm thinking is, yes, Minister, the first 2 episodes, and then if he wants to keep going, he can, but he doesn't really have to. Because the first one, Open Government, is kind of needed to understand the premise, and then the second one, I think, is just a good episode.
Yeah, first two, and then if he wants to go on from there, there's plenty of scope to go on from there. A lot of the highlights are on YouTube as well, so if he doesn't want to watch through the whole episode, you can just skim through there and pick out like the very best bits. Like, it works quite well just as like standalone little cutscenes anyway, so it's not a huge loss. Like, it's better as the whole, but you don't lose as much as you think.
I was looking up something. Oh yeah, I was thinking about the importance of being earnest, but I don't think that's actually gonna help very much. What are we thinking about a high wind in Jamaica?
I think it's a good idea. The cars need somewhere to drive, after all.
Can I kick Sam?
No.
Yes, but only physically.
You fly over here and kick me.
I mean, honestly, if you pay for the ticket, I'll do that. I'll fucking fly down there, kick your ass, and fly back again. Yeah, so high wind in Jamaica? Yes? No? Maybe?
Maybe for me, I think.
This is doing, but I quite like it, so it's staying.
By the way, I have not put any order in this list yet. I'm basically brainstorming. Like, shit that I want to have in there. And I think I'll just put all of the dramas into one section of the list, even though they'll span different topics. The bottom, basically, like, season with dramas to taste,
So, as you Google.
Is it done now?
Oh, it was changing my hyphens to M dashes, which, to be fair, is entirely my fault because I set up that shortcut because it doesn't let me use M dashes otherwise. But now I'm annoyed because it was doing it the wrong way around.
Yeah, it's annoying when it's like, oh, you typed this thing. You obviously mean this character. No, I don't.
So, Walker Brother Cowboys by Alice Munro. I'm thinking. It's a very short one, but that is probably a good, like, change of pace. What do we want to do for plays? I'm thinking A Midsummer Night's Dream from Shakespeare, maybe a different Shakespeare one as well. The Rivals. Definitely The Rivals because of class things and shit.
Well done. Destroying the bridge control has extended a walkway to our nexus point. I heed the call.
Kind of tempted to include Elliot again in the British list, but I think I won't.
Your time is running short, Zeratul.
Kerrigan, you know as well as I that Amon lives. Slaying his hybrid is a meaningless act. We must awaken the Zelnaga. Shall be a record.
No response.
Hello.
Better to reason with a
Hello,
stone
Vanessa.
than the Zerg. The final cell awaits us, Zeratul. We should delay no longer.
Oh, Marlowe. Marlowe needs to go on the...
You should add Alexandra Dumas as well.
What do you say?
You should add Alexandra Dumas. Or Mackay, depending on how technically correct you prefer to be.
It's pronounced Dumas, but okay.
Yeah, of course, Sam.
Good to know.
Dumas is absolutely the perfect way to put that.
I mean, why wouldn't it be? For once the fuckers is wrong. I know.
I'm not saying Dumas shouldn't be on the list, but...
I'm not sure where to add him either.
Like, wasn't he French?
Yeah, that seems like a good reason not to add.
I mean, that seems like a pretty good reason to not add him to the list of British literature, you know?
No,
That
but
is
what would
Could
you
you have a third list for
put him
various
in between the British and
European
German
ones?
list?
No, I'm actually making one list. Like, I'm making an American list, a British list, and a German list because those are just the three that I know enough about to make a specific list for each of those.
Sukiko, add a fourth list, and that's the category for everything that's fit in the previous.
That is what I was about to say. I'm
Make the
making
German-
an
make the
American
German
list, a
list
British
between
list,
you.
and a German list because those are the ones that I know enough about to make a specific list for them individually. And then I'm making a list that is essentially miscellaneous, where everything goes that isn't British, American, or German.
I'm about to admit something really sad. I've played hundreds of hours of Skyrim, and I really never played all that much with the alchemy system.
I'm not sure why that is
I
bad.
mean, Skyrim just kind of sucks anyway, so, you know.
You take that back.
I love Skyrim. I mean, it is now a 11-year-old game, mind you. But
It is an excellent game. I like my childhood in a bottle.
Then your childhood was shit.
You're just mad because there weren't any Scottish accents.
oh my god.
See, that imply I've even played it once.
You should though.
But no.
I
it
have
was
the
on my
mechanics are
brother's
so fucking bad.
console, so I never got to play it.
Oh, are you holding a grudge?
You should
Yes.
100% play PC. It's just better. Except for every couple years. when you have
It's
to shell out
realistic.
money.
When we were kids, we did not have laptops powerful enough to game on.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't. How old was I when I bought a laptop that could run Skyrim? I was.
So, what? Sixth year of high school, I think, was when I got a laptop that I could actually run games on without it crashing.
Well, yeah, it was. Well, because I'm not gonna say I never played PC games before that. We had an old 2002 HP Media Center. This thing was trash. That we played like Spore and Rise of Nations and Warcraft 3 on.
Yeah, it's like, these are the games that exist and no others exist because, yeah, I've been there.
Because nothing else can run. I mean, we had Nintendo, and we had the few games you could run. We had, SimCity, Rise of Nations, Warcraft 3, and 4.
Oh, Sam, I'm sure you'll want Jeeves on the list for British stuff, right?
Well, I mean, if you're going that kind of thing, like, Hitchhiker's Guide should be on there.
Yeah, it's like the sound should be on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either a Hitchhiker's Guide or Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, but
Why not?
I'm gonna throw on Hitchhiker's Guide because
that has greater cultural penetration for sure.
yeah.
Like, Dirk Gently's better, but, like, you know, not by a hell of a lot. Hitchhiker's fucking amazing.
Failed to initialize.
Yeah, also, I think Dirk Gently works better when you have more.
Look, Ballistic, according to Steam, you're playing fucking The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, so fuck you.
I'm trying to.
Oh, you're playing it twice. That's how hard you're playing it.
Let's go to advanced aspect. I have no idea what my aspect. Oh, that's the problem, is Mike. It was trying to launch with 1152 by 648 resolution. That's nowhere near what my monitors are. Like, let me look at what my monitors are, but they're definitely not that.
Sam, give me a Jeeves novel that you think is good for class issues.
Oh, I don't fucking remember what. Okay, Jeeves. The entirety. Listen to me. The entirety of Jeeves is a commentary on how stupid the upper class is, but like it or at least the British upper class of the 1910s or 20s or whatever the fuck was. But like, I don't know if any of them are more so that. Like, that's always the point of Jeeves, is satire about you know, hoity-toity, you know, like, you know, heirs and shit that have no lives, and, you know,
Eat my ass. Launch this fucking game.
So, in the absence of a preference on your part, I'm just gonna throw the inimitable Jeeves onto it.
I don't. Here's the thing. I have absolutely no idea the title of any Jeeves story because
Do you remember a plot point specifically that you
no.
want from there? So you do have a preference.
No, listen, because the Jeeves stories have been like compiled and re-released and had different names in America and England and like all this shit. So like I don't even know which is which. I remember a fucking hilarious part where Birdie and this guy who's only known as the Right On are like fighting swans, and that was fucking hilarious. But I don't remember like anything else that happened that was in that story. I remember scenes from Jeeves. I don't remember stories from Jeeves because that's not really the fucking point of Jeeves, you know?
It's not split up into anything you'd like recognize and keep hold of as a structure.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't like so you go, my answer is that it doesn't fucking matter. Like just put some Jeeves on there, you've got it covered,
I can't think of any specific titles either.
Yeah.
Just use a lister.
They're all the same, like, Right Ho Jeeves and the Inimitable Jeeves and My Man Jeeves. Like it's all yeah.
So all my Skyrim files are gone. That's distressing.
I sympathize with that. However, it's a bad game. No, I sympathize with that. That sucks, man.
Yeah, I had like 200 hours or something probably in that first file.
Were you going to return to it though? That's something you can console yourself with.
I was today.
The one that you're thinking of is very good, Jeeves.
Yeah, but the fact that I remember the particular part with swans, and it doesn't mean that it's like more suited to your purposes or anything.
It might just be you're remembering that specific part because everything else was worth. Yeah, I know.
To be honest, it probably doesn't really matter which one you choose.
It genuinely does not matter. Like for real, it does not matter.
I'm just curious which one it was that Sam was thinking about.
Like whichever one involves the right on, as in the right HON. Because it's some judge or some shit that they're trying to impress,
and it's very honorable.
It's so fucking funny. Like it's so good. Like there's a fucking great moment in Jeeves where like Bertie needs to escape from somewhere by the window, and Jeeves like has this big long-winded thing where it's like it has come to my attention over the years, sir, that that if one takes a wad of paper that is wet and like does a certain thing, you like one can strike a window and shatter it without a sound. And Bertie's like, that sounds good. Do that, Jeeves. Jeeves like, I have already done so. Follow me, sir.
Yeah.
One thing Skyrim fucking needs is a way to skip the intro.
There's probably a mod for that.
It's part of the game.
Oh, if you mean that intro, just do like Live Another Life or whatever. There's a mod for that. Why you gonna talk a big game about PC and not use fucking mods? That's like the main reason to play on PC.
Because I do have mods.
Well,
I just don't have a mod for that. Also, okay, I think I froze Skyrim. Nope. But the cart is what mods do I have installed that are doing this? Let me pull up Discord so I can stream this so anyone else can behold the whatever's happening on my screen.
You don't know what it was like when this game first came out. I had the water glitch, where every time you touch water, the entire game froze and your PS3
What do you mean
melted.
I don't know what it was like when the game came out? I pre-ordered this game.
You're like 12 years old.
Excuse you.
So, Matt, I need your opinion here because on the one hand,
that's good.
I really
want my opinions.
That I know. I really want to include Agatha Christie just because of how important she is to literature, but on the other hand, she wrote crime fiction, and that's just not very pertinent to political and historical stuff. Sorry.
She's not really relevant.
She's not really relevant. Is the ultimate bottom line in my opinion here. Like,
yeah,
she's a big part of like that kind of branch of writing. but she doesn't really comment or criticize or critique or have any notable opinion on anything that he's looking for here, like politics, religion, whatever. It's not really part of the deal with her writing.
Also, I think someone just mistook me for a Brit.
On behalf of all the Scottish people in the audience, I'm offended.
Specifically, someone sent me a DM to ask, so, how's your new PM? And I'm like, I don't know, Germany doesn't have PMs and certainly not a new one. I think you're mistaken me for someone.
Do you want to take ours, unlike the majority of the Tory party, while you're at it? Like, I'm just offering them
It's just
up.
someone who seems to keep typing in English a lot on Discord.
Oh, there we go. Let's try this again. This time, hopefully without crashing absolutely everything.
Why are there so many fucking spiders in my bed? Get out.
Matt. Just share with the spiders. They won't do you any harm.
Never share
with the spiders. I do genuinely like spiders, but not as bed companions.
Here we go.
I genuinely like spiders, says the guy who's shooting spiders from his bed.
Let's see what happens here.
If I roll over, I will crush them, and then I will be sad because they will be dead.
Survival of the fittest, baby. They ain't fit enough to avoid getting crushed by you. Then they don't deserve to survive.
This is interesting already. At least, what is happening to the horses?
I don't know, they better not be in my bed as well. It's kind of rude.
Hey, just get a bigger bed, man.
The cart is
Not like
not
you can't
even
afford
moving.
it with your massive teacher's
My
salary.
entire room is like this bed. It's a big
Cart
bed.
is not moving.
Then just get a bigger place to live. Move
I'm trying
out
to
of the
get one.
countryside and into
I'm
Yes,
London.
off, I'm awake.
If all these
We'll
Scots
just afford
had
an even
to
bigger
do
flat.
Brexit, my house would be cheaper. This is in fact entirely not true. It's actually made my house
Gosh,
cheaper.
this is like... Why, Skyrim? Why?
Time to hate you.
Another playthrough of Skyrim
sorry,
where I'm going
you have
to
too many legs
ignore
to be
the
like-
entire Civil War because I don't care.
No more spiders in the bed.
On the other hand, I do like bashing the Thalmor skulls in. It's even more fun when you're an elf. And they're like, oh, hello there! And you're like, nope, I still hate you. Oh my god, that horse is...
You know what I would? You know what I want to watch? I want to watch Ballistic try and play Elden Ring or Dark or any Souls game.
Yeah.
You want me to launch?
I'm not sure Ballistic would enjoy that.
Oh,
No,
I
but I
don't
would.
always. I do not always
I would
enjoy
enjoy
it.
it immensely.
Let's launch Dark Souls here, because I don't know that I'm gonna play Elden Ring for the first time on stream.
That's why it would be fun. Like, it's like when I used to join these calls, I'm like utterly furious at whichever stupid tree thing had killed me most recently.
It was really hilarious because Matt would just be ranting and I'd be just I'd either be ganging up with Sam on attacking him and telling him to get good. I'd just be yelling at Sam to get good, and sometimes Matt would just get pissy at me because he thought I was yelling at him, but like, nah. I was yelling at Sam, honestly. Not everything's about you. That's such an English thing.
Where the fuck is my Dark Soul?
Only a Scottish person would say that not everything's about you and then bring up nationality.
By the way, I'm thinking...
Right in the call, like, honestly.
By the way, for Neil Gaiman, I'm thinking American Gods and Good Omens.
Haha, you said gay man.
Yes.
Can I please stab
Yes, you can.
They must hide something of value.
a list
Yeah,
so
no,
what
American
has
Gods
like
is a good choice,
about
and Good
other
Omens
ones
is Terry Pratchett. So it's also
because
a good choice.
both American Gods and Good Omens are commentary on religion in slightly different ways, but kinda, you know, they
Good
kinda
Omens is an excellent choice.
opinion.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's more than
Good
just a
Omens is
commentary on religion.
amazing.
Read for fun.
I need to read Good Omens.
Have you not
I
read
keep
it?
meaning.
Oh, yeah.
No, I've seen the TV show, but I need to read it because like my friend who's read it said like the TV show is good, but
Hold
like
on, I
the
gotta
novel
stop
is
sharing
even
real quick.
better,
I
which
don't
is
know what
promising
I was literally
because
about to say that
Can
word for
be,
word.
because the TV show is incredibly faithful to the novel. Like, it is almost word for word the novel, by which I mean some of the dialogue is actually lifted word for word from the novel.
The
It
only
is
thing they
very
haven't
faithful.
got is some of the characters are a bit like off in how they've cast them. Like it's not loads.
The thing is, I've been burned by adaptations before. Percy Jackson. So I am.
No, we don't speak of that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
never speak of that.
Mostly, you just shouldn't speak of Percy Jackson when I'm around. But also, the
Yeah.
adaptation is terrible.
Yeah,
Why
I've
am I
drifted away
here?
from it.
What's going? I don't even know what's. Have I not beaten anything with whatever character this is? I don't even know what's
Yeah,
happening.
no, I've drifted away from that fandom. But like, in the books and everything, all that shit. Apart from the deep
Also,
interest in
yeah, you guys
mythology
get
that
to
I had
experience
beforehand.
the
But
joy.
anyway, but like, adaptations exist, and they can be really, 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 really shit.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like I tend to go into them like in like with Rings of Power that's come out recently. Like I've gone in like considering
I'm
it
not
an
watching it.
adaptation.
I
Not watching it
refuse.
either.
Like Amazon ain't getting that
It's
from
actually
me.
not as bad as people are trying to make out. It really isn't as bad as people
I
are trying to
don't
make
care
out.
how bad it is. It just I've seen clips and the aesthetic just feels flat.
Yeah, it's
Like
not
it
great.
feels
Yeah,
like
I
a
think.
flat version of Lord of the Rings, and that's
I don't.
Well, what
you
they're
can't.
banking really hard on people just following it because it's a brand. They haven't really like hooked anything yet or given you much. Like it's
The
just
thing
been
is,
pretty flat.
they've got
Ooh.
there's two possible angles here. They want it. They don't care whether or not it crashes and burns because tax write-offs and all those weird convoluted shit that I don't understand. Or two, they just released it as a shit show because it's Lord of the Rings, it'll sell.
The latter, very much the latter. It's not. I don't think it's actually going to be bad. I think they've structured it badly because they've taken like the size of the brand for granted. So like the first
But
few
it's
episodes
not
are just
even
really flat.
fucking Tolkien. Like it is not. The Tolkien.
No, but it was
estate
never
has
going to be
nothing to
Tolkien
do-
because you can't give Tolkien to a modern audience. They're going to cry about it.
Well, I'm
they
a
can't-
huge Tolkien fan, and I'm not
Listen,
gonna
they can't
watch.
give modern to Lord of the Rings fans.
Oh, this is Dark Souls 3, though. I mean, have you played 1?
I don't own one.
Fair enough.
Do I? I don't know. I own 2 Scholar of Fire or something. What's
Scholar of the First Sin is 2. Two eats. Like 2 really sucks.
Don't play 2,
Adaptations
got
are just
it.
adaptations. Like it's like Sam's audiobook of my stuff. I consider it an adaptation because it's not like exactly as I intended it.
I could.
And it's like it's the same for all this stuff. Like you just go in like expecting it not to be Tolkien, and it's all right. It's like I'd say Rings of Power is in the same. It's like on the same level.
Oh, Rings
as, like,
of Power.
Shadow
I'm
of
just not interested in it. Yeah, I'm not. I have no interest.
Same.
But like there are things I really dislike in it. Like I'm not a fan of Warwick Galadriel. It's just like no. Why is it?
I'm a fan of Galadriel being powerful as fuck, but I don't know that it makes sense that she would
that's
be.
not how she's meant to be powerful.
Yeah, that isn't the way in which she.
Powerful. She is the protector of her place. All that
Yeah,
shit.
she's not, and she is
work.
like fucking. She's wild. Like she'll fucking fuck you up, but not with a sword. It isn't.
Yeah.
It is not
it's
necessary
like a
that someone have a. It's like that's sort of a narrow view of power as well. It's not like.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like she can't be badass. It's like she fucking can. Excuse you. Like.
Not wielding a sword is not feminist.
So
I
far,
saw
they've
that
reduced
argument at one
every
point.
single female character in Rings of Power to basically a rubbish version of Eowyn, with the exception of the Hobbit, because they're too small to get away with it.
That Eowyn's story by doing that.
Yeah, no, they'll cheapen the entire thing by doing
Yeah,
it.
it's like, no, Eowyn was special.
Compartmentalize it.
Like, it isn't like you have to be special to be a badass girl, but it's like, or in the way, but it's like, it wouldn't be as extraordinary for Eowyn to have done that stuff. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Tolkien knew what he was fucking doing.
this has gone for the vibe, and it's like the every woman is a queen vibe, except all the queens are now the same, and everyone's a queen, so it's worthless. Like,
Yeah.
When everyone is super, nobody is.
Where the fuck is my menu?
Question for Dickon. I mean, the obvious choice that everybody knows is A Christmas Carol, but honestly,
I've got bad news.
so many
If you
shit
want to
on
ask Dickens a
already.
question, he's been dead for a really long time, so you're not going to get an answer.
Okay.
I think that
I already have a load of text on classism and like class difference in general, so I'm not sure A Christmas Carol would add a whole lot.
No,
you know?
I would see Great Expectations because it's just a fantastic social commentary, and also I say romance. It's not really romance, but it is just genuinely hilarious. Like Miss Havisham's revenge on the entire male sex is fantastic.
Well, okay, and now please say again what you were
Are
talking
you
about.
familiar with the Caroline Duffy poem, Havisham, or whatever the fuck that one's called?
Oh, I hate Caroline Duffy with a passion. I absolutely can't stand her. I loathe her so much.
I had to study her for my Nat 5 English. I hated it.
They force feed her to you when you're age like 14. And she's
Beloved sweetheart bastard, not a day since then I hadn't wished him dead. How do I still remember this? How the fuck do I still
it's called
remember
trauma.
this?
It's what happens when you read Caroline Duffy. Like she is such a niche. She's such a niche poet. Like there's a really small group of people that her poetry appeals to, but they force it into like the GCSE anthology and scar an entire generation.
Yeah. I'm not denying she has a way with words and that she is talented. She just doesn't appeal to teenagers.
No, she's not. She's writing for like mid-30s women who've gone through like specific circumstances. So like it's quite a small target audience. So why are you trying to teach it to like 13-year-old boys? Because dear God, 13-year-old boys are not interested and don't want to listen.
How do I do anything?
So Matt,
Yes.
what were you talking about 5 minutes ago?
Quite a few things. You might have to narrow it down a little bit for me.
I mean, I tried by asking you immediately when you said it, but you didn't reply to me and instead started talking to Ali, so I can't narrow it down.
Repeat your question!
Just repeat the question, please.
It can be that simple, Sakiko. It can be that simple.
The question was that I was talking about A Christmas Carol and Matt talked about something entirely different.
Oh no, that was me answering.
No, that was Matt answering. Matt, restate it.
Basically, I don't think A Christmas Carol adds anything to that list. I would say Great Expectations adds a great deal more.
Yeah, but then you suggested a different one, and I'm asking you to repeat.
No, he didn't. Then I asked him about
we segued
whether
into
he was
Caroline
familiar
Duffy
with a
at that
poem,
point.
which was based off of. Fuck it, yeah, based off of.
Havisham.
Yeah. It's well
I highly
written.
recommend Great Expectations. It's probably my favourite of Dickens' work. The character work is immense.
I need to re-fucking visit it because I hated it when I had to read it as a freshman in high school. Yeah.
Which one are we talking about? Because it is already difficult for me to understand Matt, and when then everybody starts talking at the same time as Matt, I have no fucking clue what he's saying, and I cannot follow the conversation. Which one are we talking about?
Great Expectations, Akiko. If I boil it right down, Great Expectations.
Thank
Yeah, I can't remember her name now. It's not Is it Esme? No, it's not Esme.
Wait, which character?
Miss Havisham's adopted daughter, who's like her revenge on the entirety of the male sex. She's like.
Are you talking about? You're not talking about Biddy, are you? Are you talking about Biddy?
No, fuck no.
Biddy's something totally. Yeah, that's the only other character today. I remember Miss Havisham. I remember Pip. I remember Abel Magwitch, and I remember Biddy. Those are the characters.
She's number 4 on the list of important characters.
Yeah.
Stella. There we go.
That's right. Yeah.
Courtie's named after a star.
I really do need to revisit Great Expectations, like for real.
How do I play this fucking game?
What I'm thinking is that. I mean, since you were just talking about Great Expectations, in a similar vein, but obviously darker, would be Oliver Twist, which would also be about poverty and, like, orphans and shit like that.
Yeah, Oliver Twist is quite good.
And the other one that would, like, be an obvious choice for Charles Dickens would be A Tale of Two Cities.
Why can't I hate that when you're not using a fucking gamepad, it still gives you fucking gamepad controls.
What are you
You
playing?
can turn that off.
Yeah.
Lord of Shadows 2. Or I'm trying to. I can't figure out any of the fucking controls because I haven't played it in like 4 or 5 years.
It's just so much funnier when you're not the gamer struggling.
Why do you
Chiquiko,
think it's? Why do you think
My
it's so fun
expectations.
harassing?
And then A Tale of Two Cities.
Keyboard and mouse. Yeah, keyboard and mouse. Let's see. F. 3. Why the fuck do? No, not even that 3. Yep. Oh.
Okay, I need to dip because I'm asleep and work tomorrow.
What?
So,
Girls, imagine having a job.
pretty sure
Okay,
you have
I have
a
a
job.
job,
Why
but
you're
I'm on
imagining it.
holiday, so I don't.
I have a
pay.
job.
Imagine not being on holiday, right?
I've just had like 6 weeks of holiday.
I know, I hate you so much. I get 5 weeks.
If you want to start that fight, Ali, I promise you he's not
I
probably going to
get
win.
5 weeks of holiday. It's so
I get
bullshit.
2 weeks of
You get 5
vacation.
weeks in an entire year. I get 6 weeks in one go.
You also get Christmas.
I get a
I get the
vacation
half
when
time.
like Sakiko makes me take a day off, which I rarely let Sakiko do.
Yeah, but you
It's
don't.
like
you don't have,
occasionally
a
there
job,
won't be a
Bob.
recording
You do what you
session.
love.
I'm like, is he dying? Like, I need my entertainment, people.
How long is one of your days, though? This is like a genuine, curious question. Like,
Me?
on an average day.
I usually spend an hour or two recording, and then I play some video games, and then I spend like the rest of the day until I go to bed editing. Like after I sign off the stream, I'm editing or doing other shit that's relevant to the job and all that stuff. I mean, I'm not spending 100,000% of that time doing it, but like generally that's the point.
He's still playing Devil May Cry. Don't listen to this. He's absolutely still playing Devil May Cry.
You can tell what I'm playing on my fucking Discord, so fuck you.
On Steam, too.
Right, I'm gonna dip. See you later.
Later.
See ya.
Bye, Matt. Oh. I got a DM.
No, please don't start that.
What?
I got a DM.
Did I say it like that?
You fucking did as well.
Yep.
Did too.
I didn't. Okay, I stopped mid sentence. I was saying I was starting to say I didn't realize that I said that. I realized that I cut off that sentence halfway through it. I did not expect a did too like.
Did too.
Why do I feel like he was making fun of me?
I wasn't making fun of you. I never genuinely expected Sakiko to say something that sounded like something like a 6-year-old would say in an argument. Like, you did too. Like, oh, I'm dying.
If it helps, Ali, I'm genuinely sure he wasn't making fun of me. Might have come across as that, but I'm very sure he wasn't.
Yeah, Tsukiko, like, shit, it's not a lot of stuff in Scotland, it's just life to suffer in the elements because it'd be far too expensive to have, like, all the private collections. Like, Museum of Scotland will do shit like that, but, like, if it's a wall display like that, fuck no. I think that was put up in, like, the 1980s? I don't know. It was put up a couple of centuries ago, and, like, the room is like 20 meters or something like that tall, so it'd be a fucking nightmare trying to keep all the humidity out, especially on the west coast of Scotland. So I think everything's just left to suffer and rust away.
That is honestly pretty damn sad, but also I understand it because yeah, it costs money to produce.
So that's kind of the, like, Scotland's got this gorgeous history. But so have fun preserving it. It's gonna be very expensive. It's, yeah, like, you've got, like, Shell Survive.
You tried
like,
tourism.
like there's a lot like Cranogs in Scotland, like the remains of Cranogs in Scotland. You've got all sorts of interesting finds from them, but the preservation of those finds is really complicated because you either have to dry them out in such a way that they don't break, they don't decay, all this fun shit, or you have to basically replicate the exact specifications, the salinity, the microorganisms and all these the mineral balance and all this stuff of the water where your find was, so it doesn't was preserving your find, otherwise it'll decay. Because it's interesting, but also it's a very big field for a reason.
Who thinks I should try playing Sekiro? I haven't.
It's very fucking hard, and in a way that I don't personally find fun. And it's a From game, so if there was a chance to suck its dick, I would.
There's a chance to what?
To suck its dick, I would.
Because it's a what game?
A From game. From Software. That's the name of the company that makes Dark Souls, Sekiro, Elden Ring, Bloodborne. That's from, and like Armored Core. That's their name is From Software.
Okay. What else should we try? We could try Titanfall 2. We could try Bloody Spell. Play Bloody Spell. We could try it. Let's stream this. Hopefully my stream, I have no idea what this game is. Oh, this is gonna be... Yeah, 0 hours played. I remember buying it because it looked cool and was on sale, and I don't remember anything else about it. Like, it was on one of those huge sales that you're like, yeah, for $5, I'll buy this.
Hey, I'm gonna make a sensible decision for once and leave a call before midnight. Because I'm fucking exhausted.
Good
I know,
night,
I'm
then.
a responsible adult. I don't like it. It's gross.
It's gonna be very difficult to wake up on time on Wednesday. Because I gotta go back to work on Wednesday.
I do. I need to shower my hair. Oh. Surprisingly, I'm not in perfect
Ooh,
health.
I might try to force myself to get up early.
Right. I am off.
See
Bye.
if my buddy is... close. Whoa! I already don't think I should stream this. I'm on the main menu and I should not stream this.
What is the main menu like?
I will send you a DM, Sam. This is the main menu.
Is it bad?
I can send you the main menu as well, Sakiko.
You have not sent anything to me.
What? Oh, yes, I have.
That's just a girl with skimpy clothing. That's
Yeah, that's the main menu. Like,
that's fine though. Like there's nothing wrong
I
with
can
that.
stream this and find out what this is. Because I genuinely have no idea what this game is.
It looks like it is very like East Asian inspired, but
I think it was. I don't even think it was. I think it was translated. I think it was like a Chinese game originally that got translated.
okay. In that case, it might just be that.
But
Yeah, no, I don't think this is very extreme. Like,
Yeah, it's like literally that's pretty fucking tame, honestly.
recommended for players who can't beat simple. Recommended for players who have not touched the action game. Well, I haven't touched this action game. Recommended who have been exposed to action games. Let's try normal difficulty. Entering a new game. Let's do this. Enemies with ground can summon a reinforcement. Definitely was not originally in English, because there should be can summon reinforcements. Unless they're summoning like one singular person to help them. Also, the window is very small. Like, it's maybe 20% of my screen. Let's fucking do.
Upgrade complete. Let our enemy know our fury.
Come on. Come on. What's wrong with that? The load time is very long. Sam, do you think I should remind you again tomorrow?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Because it has been pointed out to me before by both you and Sakiko that if people do not remind you of things, you will not remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I do appreciate you putting them up on the website. I realize I'm not going to say the only person. There might be like 4 other people somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is supposed to be, but that's fine. If somebody cares, then there you go.
out of curiosity, Billy, why do you not join the recordings? Is that time where you're not?
He's banned from. He's banned from POS.
Okay.
Yeah, you said I was some sort of. You said my IP was flagged as like spam or something.
I mean, I surmise that might be it because I don't recall you banned.
I've never been on the server. Yeah, never been there. I thought I would totally be there for the recordings, but. Oh, great. Somehow the game is now frozen while it was loading.
Upgrade complete.
Great job, game. Also, this month is going to be so much fun. I'm kind of excited for the upgrades that I'm going to do to my computer this month. Because going from 6 cores to 16 cores will be immense. Fuck. Damn it, that hurts. Oh, shit.
What happened?
Oh, when I hiccup, it hurts like in my sternum.
That implies that you're not hiccuping correctly. Like you're not letting it out.
You don't hiccup. No, that's not necessarily the case, Kiko.
Okay, I'm gonna clarify. That is what I do when it hurts. When I try to suppress the sound it makes by basically swallowing it down, that is when it'll hurt in my sternum. When I don't do that, it doesn't hurt.
It just always hurts in my sternum.
Okay, that's weird.
So I am this dude with this ponytail. And we're gonna have a cutscene already. Okay. Oh, those look like bad things. Like zombie goblin things. But taller than I would expect a goblin to be. Look at my martial arts skills. Holy shit. Hello, probably dead person. Yep. Oh, there's gear in this game. Yes.
There's what?
There's gear. I got some boots.
I mean, many games have gear. I'm not sure what makes that.
I love games where you can fucking... Because sometimes there'll be games that don't really have gear. I love...
Like, well, Sekiro, for example, does not have gear.
There's no gear in Sekiro?
Sekiro, but no.
Sekiro? Holy shit, I can backflip! I am very strong. Archive sync successful. I love that it gives you no idea how to fight, so you just like, left click does this, right click does, you gotta figure it out on your own.
I'm sure it does something.
Oh, I got a bladed weapon. Oh yes, weapons time.
I have to admit, I just think it's incredibly funny how, like, excited you get about things like, wow, I have a weapon with a blade.
Yeah.
Yes. And I was kind of kicking ass, like. Well, considering it's a Chinese game, it's probably Kung Fu versus Taekwondo, which would be Korean, Judo. I don't know. I'm just making noise with my mouth. Just. Ooh. Is there any stuff in here? Just weird green shit. I jumped down there. Does the golden knot end up down there? I don't know. So I could skip that area. Or I could go down and kick some ass.
I am detecting another eruption. Visual locations have been marked.
Oh. Oh. Equipment. Oh yes. I've got a big sword. 80, 80, 80, 88. Behold my giant, ridiculous weapon. It's so fucking slow. Okay, I kind of hate this weapon. It looks really cool, but it's too big. Yeah, so let's go up to equipment. Equipment. Give me that for equipment 1. Do that for equipment 2.
A natural Vespine vent. I will have the Void Seeker begin extracting it from orbit.
Ooh. D. Injured discipline. It is really seriously injured discipline. It is really outnumbered. What?
That
Seriously
sounds like
injured
full
Oh,
inflation.
Sounds like a
despicable.
dodgy translation, yeah.
The other thing is here. I was like, ooh, more stuff. Tree head. Okay, so gauntlet to the monastery. Oh, I can change into whoever this is. Or I can crash the game. That's cool. Sister. Ooh, gold. Shiny. That actually gives me more health. That's interesting. What the...
We are one with the shadow. I am the voice of the eclipse.
Let's be gold, because gold is shiny. Palace pajamas? I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay. Hey, don't hit. Whoa! Holy shit. Am I even faster? Oh shit. I have no idea how this game works.
You require my skills.
Weird. Archive succeeded. Oh yes, nether weapon. A wooden stick! Equipment? Oh yeah. Give unto me the wooden stick. We shall use it to hit stuff.
A second vent has been discovered. Seismic readings indicate one more remains.
Oh, it's a friggin' bow staff. Yes!
Very well.
And I've got omnidirectional attacks because I'm swinging a big stick around.
You require more Vespine gas.
Oh shit.
I am the heart of darkness. Intriguing.
Okay, we killed that one.
It shall be as you say.
Oh shit.
For the reckoning.
Okay, I think I'm about to die, because I have no idea how I'm playing this game. Yep, I died.
Another breach is occurring. Marking the fissure locations now.
I'll cycle it.
Intriguing. Prismatic core online.
I got a key.
Our pylon is under attack.
No, I don't want to go in there. I don't want to go in there. I changed my mind. Let's go the other way. I'm gonna explore, see if there's more shit for me to pick up.
You get no context for that screenshot.
Who gets no context for what?
Neither of you gets any context for the screenshot that I just posted in general text.
The Void Seeker is now extracting Vespene from all 3 vents.
We move unseen.
I think I broke the game again. Or not.
What?
I have no idea. I'm just trying to get all of these new icons to go away. Because, of course there's a bikini. Why wouldn't there be? In a martial arts fighting game, why wouldn't there be? That makes perfect sense. And now there's a dude in a thong. And what? I don't even understand this. None of this game makes sense. Okay, so now I'm in a giant one-piece swimsuit for some reason. No idea. Don't understand how this game works. Ooh, but I'm gonna jump up this scaffolding. Or not.
Mineral field depleted.
Run at the camera. I know. Making myself dizzy. Oh, that's too much spinning. Okay, that's enough spinning. Yeah. Is that a bug? Okay, let's...
Also, Sam, maybe interesting to you, the character that is standing upright in the screenshot has a horrible German accent.
I got
like,
a hat.
I'm sure the person who did that German accent was doing a bad German accent on purpose, because otherwise I cannot explain this.
Look at. Although for some reason the hat doesn't show up, but I got a hat. Yay for equipment. The one weird thing that, well, it's not the only weird thing, but a weird thing I've noticed about this game is, the enemies don't seem to drop stuff, you just seem to find weapons on the ground instead.
Honestly, I think that makes sense, because usually in games it's like, this enemy fights with gigantic claws, also it just dropped a sword. Like,
Well, yeah,
how?
but
Where
some
did
of
that
these
come
guys, okay, so some of the enemies have giant weapons, but then there's like this guy that I'm fighting right here, it looks like he has a bow or something.
Well, I need June lifting up my...
Also, it's very impressive that despite being barefoot, she is not leaving bloody footprints everywhere, or getting any blood on her.
No.
The true sign of discipline. The ability to stand directly on fire. Good job.
Oh, it's tender. That's...
Ooh, a treasure chest.
Oh,
Have something in.
the bodies.
Nope, just a bunch of little green bobbly things.
Another breach is occurring. Marking official locations now.
I want a weapon. Just a bunch of green bobbly things. Ooh. Oh, wait. That's the character I'm playing as now. What? I'm very confused. Oh my. Let's go.
No fun.
The Bloodthirster.
That's the code. Performance top in the of his brain.
Getting some weird text-to-speech thing from you, from you, Keiko.
I'm not using text-to-speech, so
Don't
I'm not entirely sure how.
I've almost defeated the giant thing and only lost half of my health in the process because I'm very bad at this game.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, there's just some sound. It sounds like a voice intermittently speaking.
Oh, I control the giant thing, yes!
Interesting. Oh, by the way, Sam, in case you didn't see the ping, I don't know whether you're looking at Discord, Clackle's pinged, like, let me look at the time.
Ask him whether that means he's ready to go, because I did see the ping. I don't know whether that means he's ready to go.
I mean, literally, the ping is, at everyone, I am home now, and Clackle is, in general, texting something, so I'm assuming that means he's ready to go.
Die! The cutscene! Hooray!
Then he shall be disappointed.
I don't understand this game at all. But I'm beating the shit out of stuff. Also, who stands like this? Like,
someone who's posing in a horny video game.
Like, your back should not do. Look at the
No, backs can do that. They just don't. No, backs can do that. They just don't normally.
Ooh, giant sword. Giant sword.
Ballistic, it is indeed okay for something to just be horny. Being horny is fine.
I think what Ballistic is primarily concerned about is being horny on a public stream.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm agreeing, I'm saying I think that is...
I got an achievement. I want my hat back. And I love that. Yeah, we got. Yeah, but nothing. What's this one? Nope, that's also weird. Can we find something that seems appropriate, please? Armor! Armor must be different. Isn't it the person you just rescued? I don't know. That's also the person I just rescued. So that's Sister Lee. Let's just... Zombie cosplay. Hat uniform. Nope, let's just go to Priestess in gold. Because I like gold. Gold is very shiny. Press escape to equip the weapon.
Eruption
Okay.
imminent. Fissures are appearing here.
Genetic matrix active.
Press the X key to use the light attack. X doesn't... Oh, left mouse. Left mouse. This is not the weapon you want to use. Why is it giving me a tutorial in level 2? That seems like a very poor time to give me a tutorial.
Sometimes there's an opening level, so there's a real tutorial level. That's a thing.
I'll use the right mouse button 3 times. And then if I... Oh, I'm weaker now than I was. Okay, I can't do crazy combo shit like I was doing in level 1. I'm not a fan of when video games do this, when they make you super powerful at the beginning and then they take all of your power away.
No,
It's
that's you have something to strive for.
It's like, well, don't make me super strong at the beginning. Make me work up for it, so I don't feel like there's a huge sense of loss to my power.
But that's the game, though. That's what it's making you work for that power. It's making you say, "Oh, this is what you can be." You know, yeah.
Dart. I don't know how to do this. Dart right. Dart. Oh, dart with R key. R key. Okay. Yeah, let's see weapon skills. Primary attack, gallows, blade. Ooh, the blades. Oh, I love stabs. Stabs are like the best. Ooh. Knuckles, blade. Fire meteor, blade dance. Oh my god. Jump. Dodge the left trigger.
So I now have the Sanctus of Mr. Festiva stuck in my head. The main problem is that I have all the parts simultaneously stuck in my head, which is kind of difficult to sing if you're not 6 people. And like, is how I used to get rid of earworms, so you know.
Immigrant Song takes care of earworms.
I wish it worked like that, but it frequently doesn't for me.
Okay. Get hit. But that doesn't make me fall down either. I don't... Went under attack. Left and right mouse button at the same time. Oh, that's fucking cool.
Base is under attack.
Press the middle mouse button to lock on. Can I pick up whatever he dropped? I want that. Oh, the torn page of the soul path. Is that a treasure? Nope. It's a whole lot of useless. Okay, hit escape, hit equipment. I love that I actually died in the first level, because now that means I'm really bad because I was super powerful and still managed to fucking die.
So, a genuine question, is Ballistic still talking? Because I hear something
Yeah,
super quiet.
no, Ballistic is talking at a completely normal volume, Kiko.
Okay, so Discord is doing the weird thing again.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Oh boy. When enemy is larger, his attack will appear domineering. Bloody spell active skill? I don't know how to do that. How do I do that? Bloody spell. Active skill. Yeah, learn that. Okay.
I'm going to stop the stream for now. I'm probably going to go hop off and do a wrestling.